Terrains, different parkour from the hills and the climbs, the mountains through the flatlands. We are now back on familiar territory for MyWhoosh. We're into Arabia, which is going to see the battle unfold for the positions. And remember, of course, you've got to get over the finishing line of the competition to collect those prizes.
Well, the course today is a really interesting one. So we're looking at a 79.2 kilometre course for the men. And one of the things that's really interesting to say about this course, the first 22 kilometres are the same as the women's 22 kilometres, and the latter 26 kilometres is the same as the women's race. What it is there's a section in the middle. They turn a different direction, and you can see that there. They go out on another little leg, they go around a loop, and then they come back onto what was the women's course. So it's exactly the same run to the finish line as the women's, but out there are some differences. There are a number of sprint checkpoints along the way, 5 of them, so 25 points up to play out there in the sprint competition, and in a lot of the categories that's going to be really instrumental today, so do keep your eyes peeled for them. 2 climbs in the climbing competition, just 10 points available. I don't think, she says, just double checking her notes, there's any category out there today in which the climbing competition is not finished. Those 10 points are not going to be instrumental, so it is going to be about who wants to go for those today and take away the climbing competition on the stage. The overall climbs on the stage race now complete.
And this in some ways is very reminiscent of a stage we saw the UAE men's road tour and the women's tour as well. The run out to Al Wathba into the desert it's a very traditional run out, and I think for me that those stages ended in sort of a crescendo with an elite group of sprinters sprinting into the finish.
And I think,
I think it was Del Toro who took the win, which showed just maybe a portent of what was to come. And I think a sprinter, somebody who's been on at the front already, I think we're going to see somebody who's already shown. I don't think we're going to see a surprise at the front. Do you?
Well, I think we're going to see sprint finishes today. We could well see riders trying to attack. We did see a long run breakaway succeed in one of the women's categories, but only one.
Yes.
So you know, that is a foretold story. Normally when we're on these courses in the Sunday Race Club, it is indeed a packed sprint for the finish. It is a case of who is in that pack though. And for me, particularly in category 1, between second and third and fourth, it's very, very tight on GC. There are some riders out there for whose seconds do count, but this type of course really is, you know, you'd look at it and you go, well, actually, it's for the sprinters and it's the celebration stage. Whether that plays out today is a very different matter.
Yes, I think you can make it very hard and give the sprinters a hard time, particularly on these climbs. The leeward climb is notorious for breaking people up, but it's going to be tough along with the Bahrain Hill. I agree with you, Emma. It's going to come down for a sprint. Let's look through our riders racing in our categories. We're in category 6, and it's Santeri Quickstrom who will go into today's stage wearing the gold jerseys, leader of the overall competition, ahead of Emil Ivanov, the rider in second place. Ivanov really coming to the fore in the mountains, as did third place Michael Rademacher, the defending champion. But really now, this is Quickstrom's to lose. It's going to be something major to take him out of the competition.
Oh, I think this is set. I think our 1, 2, 3 is already decided. Michael Rademacher in third place, last year's winner, the defending champion, has done a great job in the mountains to try and defend that, but lying in third place, 2 minutes back on GC. I'm not saying never, but it is a really, really interesting one out there. What's also interesting is the team competition. Level Kevlar, ahead of BMC 6, 1 minute 8 seconds the gap. It's been really, really close racing out there.
Yeah, I mean, and the one thing I would say is we may see Jonathan Vega thinking about what he can do. He's nearest to the top 3, and it is only a matter of seconds. Our riders have been out and racing for a long time. Our riders are battling it out in Category 6. Congratulations to everybody who's going to make it through all 7 stages. Asker El Adio, congratulations, sir. 18 hours, 41 minutes of riding complete, racing on the MyWhoosh Championship so far, and I am hoping you are going to have a good race into the finish. After that, I think we're going to be topping the 20-hour mark of racing, and that shows you just how tough it is. And good to see Nathan Crick still battling away on his way in towards our finish. We did report on his battles with Simon Llewellyn earlier on, and there is a great blog here, and you can find the links on the Facebook pages for the MyWhoosh Indoor Cycling by Nathan Crick with a link to that. And it has been my breakfast reading most mornings, as long as it arrives before breakfast. It hasn't always, I have to say, but I don't blame him because he's done an amazing job out there. So all of our riders. Let's run through the stage win. It was Santeri's Quickstrom, the rider who took the time in the time trial. He is our leader, and he was our stage winner yesterday ahead of Jonathan Vega, who battled to the line 1 minute 32 seconds down on Quickstrom, with Emil Ivanov in third, setting in place those GC positions. In the sprint competition, Eduardo Sugai raced through, and maybe talk about those sprints, that sprint competition in a short while. Quickstrom also mopping up on his way to the overall win on the stage, the most mountain points, but Quickstrom taking the stage win and going into our race lead. He's a rider who today has it all in front of him. He has those final 79.2 kilometers to cover, the last 428 meters of ascent to go up, and then he should, barring a major incident, be in the championship position. Who will be our champion? Will Quickstrom hold on? It's time to find out. The first of our race fields away here on MyWhoosh on the championships for 2026. The final stage, the final race is underway. 6 race starts. Category 6 off first, 10 minutes then to Category 5, 10 to Category 4, and Robert Cronje, in traditional Category 6 style, is ripping up the road. He's tearing up the boardwalk. He is leading out the race. Cronje on your screens at the moment in person, looking to take this and make it hard from the flag drop to the finish. Yeah, he is indeed, and great racing and great riding all week from everybody here, but straight on the front of the pack at the 500 metre marker, Robert Cronje there, Vassanen there, Quickstrom watching and marking the moves. It's all about defending that title today. Calderon, Cruz, Fio, Montoya, all at the front. The Category 6 pack, can I just say, the fastest rider out of the pen. It's like a Wild West out there. It is, and we will see whether or not they need to corral the wagons a little bit later on, or whether they can just go pioneering across the plains. We will be talking more about that GC, I'm sure, as we run into the finish. Emma, can we talk about sprints yesterday in Category 6? Because that was really interesting. We didn't get a chance to do it.
Not it. I forgot to put the chat on.
In the time trial, there is only so much time in this world, and so much we can say whilst covering the general classification, which was so critical yesterday in that time trial across all 6 categories. So the sprint competition yesterday, for those of you that weren't watching, or maybe you've just got the fatigue setting in a bit like we have in the studio, it was fastest through the segment rather than first across the line, and so
I'm just doing my warm-up.
Was really, really key.
Yeah, it was, and it was really interesting because a number of riders who weren't in contention for those points went for those sprints. Ola Warren in the MyWhoosh jersey. That is the Belgium challenge, I think, from earlier on this year. So nice jersey as he is in the pack and on in the pain cave. The push is on again coming into the Ferrari showroom at the moment, and it's great to see the pack here all pushing on together. Ola Warren in that top 10. 10 at the moment. Warren, you know, in that sprint competition overall, he's the rider in the green jersey. He's got 62 points to Crickstrom's 37. He's going to ride really well. The GCC jersey sat on the shoulders of Matt Smith, and there he is on your screens at the moment. He's leading that competition by 8 minutes 22 seconds. Shaposa, there he is on the bike.
Excellent.
First time we've seen Matt in the MyWhoosh Championships. Brilliant job. Absolutely fabulous. Congratulations. Final stage today, and then the job will be complete.
And I've got to say, brilliantly done for Matt and all of the team. He's absolutely battled this.
So yeah, you watched yesterday's race, so it's a time trial. That was
killing him up the stage.
very, very
I'm
hard.
hoping they've rid it in.
I don't know how my legs are feeling today.
I think a baptism of redemption after a lot of travelling and a lot of working. This was a chance to get some Ks in. He's done that, and the GCC Championship title laying with him now. I think this is going to be his.
Can I say he's also done a sterling job in the Masters competition, because he's currently lying third there, 3 minutes 52 back on that competition. Washtek Skierski's in second, 3 minutes 17. Been close out there. Orlando Montoya, the rider wearing the jersey with the blue sleeves. That's the Masters jersey out there, and he's done a fabulous job. And I say that because at the start
I mean, if you watch team, when are we setting off? Sorry, we're category 2, so we set off at 1 o'clock.
No mean feat out there at all.
But we have to do a weigh in at 12.
Be at the top of the
so I've done my weigh in.
That competition.
Yeah,
been to work, got home, done my weigh
in the overall GC, but leading in that Masters competition. Matt Smithson, just out of interest, in 11th place overall. So
great riding.
Great job.
Well, Lucas Barrier
top
is the
7
rider
teams
in
win
Young Riders
prize
competition. He's been having a
we're in
really
8th.
good race out there. He's in those white sleeves. He's just on the back of this group at the moment. You can see there the gap at 64 riders, 65 riders in the leading group, and then a small gap back to the group behind. Barrier, part and parcel of this group. He's been racing for 11 hours, 24 minutes.
It's possible,
so
but
far.
highly unlikely today.
Probably
the stage we've got
to
today hasn't got very much climbing.
And his best positioning, he's got a top 25 in the stage before last, which was not an easy stage in the slightest. It was our big mountain climbing stage, so on one of the toughest stages with the most ascent. He's going to be on there. Now,
but it's unlikely we're going to make up the time we need.
Just to prove world champions eat cake, there is Kate McCarthy
But it's all good.
eating cake in the background.
Indeed, I'm loving the fact that there's a whole load of water bottles.
It's been a very hard week
as well. It's nice to see that
I'm definitely fitter. Well, I will be fitter once
Ollie
I've
Jones as the pin-up on the
recovered
wall
from all the efforts.
with a world champion here that he really should be paying a little bit more respect to, maybe it could be said. I think interesting, Dylan. I noticed that in yesterday's stage, Dylan Kennett was going for the sprints, but Dylan, it's good to see you back on the bike, and I know you've done an amazing job out there of racing. He's also been DS in the women's team, and we've been keeping our eye on that as well. The community is absolutely amazing, whether you are the star of the discipline or a star of another.
The problem I've had here in
Dylan Kennett, not the only
my
house
is the
up in the
temperature
eyes peeled for other
has been
posters.
very,
Plain
high.
cave
Most people
decoration
it's
does
high,
exist. Now, Daniel
I really
Craig
struggled
on the
with that.
front of the pack at the moment.
So on some of the
here,
stages I got
riders
dropped on the
to,
climbs.
MyWhoosh, and joining the
I
MyWhoosh
wouldn't normally get dropped
Championships.
there.
It's been fabulous to have him on our screens and fabulous to have him in the mix. And take a look at this. The first checkpoint at the 5.9 kilometre marker, they're 2k out. Nice move. He's waking everybody up in the
today's all right. It's only 22 degrees in my
Crickstrom
kitchen.
looking like he's
That's
in
where
for
I've
that
got
race.
my bike set up.
We must remind ourselves and
Coolest
everybody
place I could
that
put it.
got to remember, although overall
Friday and Saturday it was 32.
Basically wrapped up by something major. What we are looking at, there are prizes today for today's top 3 for taking the most sprint points.
He wants to go up.
Now, Jonathan Fager wants to go. He's not on a podium position at the moment. He's top 4, not top 3.
39 seconds back from Michael Rademacher.
I tried everything, mate. I got a big screen outside my kitchen window to block the sunlight.
And I think whilst he might
I've been spraying ice water over myself.
take
I've
the
got
trip
4
to the family
fans.
holiday and then come back and
All my
manage to get
water's
racing as
cold.
well, because it wasn't going to work at the family holiday, which is a mission in itself. This is mission impossible today, but I am very prepared to be proved wrong by the action that unfolds in front of us today. It won't be the first, and hopefully it won't be the last time I'm proved wrong in a race, putting words to the action.
His warm-ups are always strange as well, because the effort at the moment is really high.
Is a man to watch. He is.
And we hit the race and we just smashed like 400 watts out of the gate.
Mathematician himself, Nicholas Spratt, in second and Luke Kendall in third. Pens leading the competition as we go into stage 7, because he is the rider with the lowest cumulative aggregate time, 10 hours, almost exactly, only 15 seconds over that 10-hour marker, and he's clear of Spratt by 35 seconds.
Yeah,
so
yesterday,
like
because of the climbs, there were really punchy climbs.
In the other categories,
he could make up a lot of time by going.
It's going to take a major move to change it, and I think Spratt.
Going down the hill, you can ease off a little bit.
You
don't lose as much time for going a bit less hard on the downhill.
Top 6
heavier riders roll so fast downhill.
It's a very slim chance on the course today to change position.
I think the only thing that could potentially happen is Nicholas Spratt could go for a long one, and we know he's a very aggressive rider. He could have kept his powder dry a little bit yesterday and saved his legs for today. Well, I'm
going to do my best. I've done my best every day.
Time trial, it was so close.
Every day I've done my best. It's just not good enough for this time round.
And that was a great ride and a great race out there.
My kids are grown up now.
Riders still with a minute to go.
I don't have to worry about that 2-hour sleep. Although I did have a police helicopter flying around all night.
Warren is running onto
I didn't really wake up, but I was aware of it.
Around the corner, he's going to need to push here to close this down, because at the moment Damasolo is the rider pushing on, and the rider clear. I think Warren's not going to make it. He realizes that and sits back down and waits another day. But take a look at that. There's riders coming up for the rest of the points as well, just wanting to get that time across the line. And Warren, well, not taking the first sprint.
Indeed, not taking the first sprint, so we'll wait for those points to be confirmed on our screens before we call that completely, and here they come. So it is Damasio who's taken top spot, followed by Warren Bedogni, then Choten, followed by Kvikström. They are the riders who get the 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 points. Quick reminder for you that we have 5 sprints out on the course. That's a total of 25 points up for grabs. First 5-point score going to Damasio as Category 5 leave the pens here today with Junior Pens, our leading rider. There, no pun intended, believe me, as they head out on to race route. And we are in with Junior now. Congratulations, Junior, on your stage win yesterday in the time trial. Congratulations. I know you've got the MyWhoosh jersey on now.
Channeling the vibe for this year.
The gold jersey should be yours. Just one stage left to defend.
Well, Nicholas Spratt is the rider in the polka dots. He's been riding strongly in that King of the Mountains competition. He is 114 points to Gabescu's 64 as we go in with Macedo.
Indeed.
Same jersey.
Yes, João Macedo has given us the real him on stage 7. We've gone for the real João Macedo.
This course is 80 kilometers, 79.2 kilometers.
Not Unicorn Macedo.
Not Unicorn Macedo, but João Macedo, the character that is here. He's got
a lot of sprints up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprints.
He's a man of excellent, exquisite sartorial
taste. 2 mountains, 2 climbs, category 4
and he's right on the front of the pack.
And no surprise to see him up near the front of the pack.
So is Christian Korzanski, one of the riders who
no problem, man.
Normally we see climbing prowess, but right now he's on the front of the group here at the 1 kilometre marker. So 1k into the race, and Korzanski on the front of the pack, dialing this here at the moment, wanting to keep the pace high and get this really rolling.
Indeed, Christian Korzanski, the Falcon Condor Eagles squad. He's consistently climbed since stage 2. He's climbed up through the rankings at 5 places one day, 9 the next, 6 the day after that, 2 yesterday. So consistently climbing his way up. Let's go in with our Masters competition leader here, because we are in with, GCC leader. He's in here. I tell you something, he is absolutely springing his way, from bouncing his way in to the finish here today. I love the fact that he's gone for the black jersey with the gold bar across. I think a touch of class there
to finish it off.
To finish off by a very classy rider.
Well, Luke Kendall on your screen. Oh, yes, look at that. He's got flamingos on his jersey. That is a cracker. I love that. Well, Luke Kendall also wearing the Masters jersey on screen. Well, his avatar is. He's leading that competition by 8 minutes, 13 seconds. Brilliant riding and racing from Luke Kendall, and going to be good to see how he goes. He's looking very happy about it all as well.
Well, he's right up there on GC, isn't he? He's top 3 at the moment, and so we're going to just see how that plays out today. Will we see a win from him? He's had. Do you know, he's been knocking on the doors so many stages. He's had a second, he's had 3 third places, an 8th and a 13th.
But he's got defending to do. He's 9 seconds clear of Leonard Cannabona in 4th place. He's just got to keep his eye on the ball today. In the youth competition, Juan Roas leading that competition. He is wearing those white sleeves. He is 19 minutes clear of Andre Gavescu. That's been a good competition as well.
It has indeed. So well done to Juan Rojas leading that competition out as they go through. Yeah, the
team competition. I'm just going to say hello to Luke Allport, actually. Evening, Luke. Fabulous to have you here.
Buddy.
Thank you so much for joining us this year on the MyWhoosh Championships. It's great to have you back. I hope we're going to see you on the Sunday Race Club as the year progresses. Keep on hydrating, keep on enjoying it, keep on that community alive, and keep on riding all the way to that finish line today. In the team competition in Category 5, Virtual Velocity have taken, well, they've got to have taken the win because they are 22 minutes clear of the Crank Masters. At the 29-minute mark is Road Brazil ZTBR, and BMC 5 Up are in 4th. Whoosh, you are here in 5th. Scott Coxon on your screen. Another newer rider to MyWhoosh and to the MyWhoosh Championships.
Yeah, great to see Scott. You can see him just tapping out the rhythm there on the bike. Did a great job throughout the course of this championships, and I think I'm hoping we're going to see lots of the riders who we've seen on our championships maybe for the first time. And I know there are a number of those making the way into the Sunday Race Club as well. Nikolai Savic on our screens, and a rider who's been battling up in the overall competition, currently in 13th position. Done a great job riding his way through the race. Been hovering around about sort of the top 15. Best position yesterday, so on the ascendancy as we go in with Rod Loxley, who's gone for a yellow jersey today down there. Rod today has got to get himself in over the line. A great riding by Rod, I've got to say. Really impressed by him. Over the course of this.
In that leading team, and 157 back on GC, currently sat in 6th place, so some great riding there as well.
Yep, definitely, and we'll see how he goes as we go through the stage, as we will with Junior Silva. Junior Silva, another of our regulars on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's good to see you. And the Brazilian there, proudly wearing the Brazilian jersey there. So
just outside the top 20 on GC, so a really strong performance.
And when you look at the time gaps, actually, there is the potential for him to move up, but not impossible, but tricky maybe today.
Yeah. And, well, I'll tell you something.
But time gaps could go today.
They could. You just don't know what's going to happen today. And to be honest, enjoy the final day. Maxime Fabre on your screens at the moment. And French rider in the mix, in the pack. Could be one looking forward to some sprints today.
Indeed, Maxime Fabre putting in a great ride. Another of our regulars on the Sunday Race Club. Best position so far, a 12th place. Can he break that top 10 in that final sprint?
Well, today is about conquest, challenge, camaraderie. It's also about consistency, congratulations and celebrations. Christophe Lasno on your screen at the moment, and there's going to be some celebrations going on. He's had a great championships, he really has. Lasno doing the business across the stages, and he's been riding well in terms of that sprint competition, picking up points out there. Tricky when Joel Warren and Roman Mazzaros have been going head to head, but Lasno getting into the mix. Indeed,
Lasno taking a 4th place on stage 3, so definitely one to watch should it come down to a sprint finish, which is the prediction today.
Oh, well, another push on the front, making sure the pace is strong. Matt Monroe, Lenador on your screens at the moment, and you can see the setup with the fan blowing. Another happy rider. It's the final day. We're all smiles everywhere. He's in his Philippines jersey. Great choice before and on the final stage today.
So let's move across now into our category 4 competition. What a battle we've had at the front of this race. Pano Alalucia taking the win in the time trial, moving into top spot overall, placing Sinclair into second place. It is close. There are 12 seconds separating first and second place. The battle for third and fourth is not over either. Bergam versus Pino. And that is only a matter of 34 seconds or so. So again, that could come down. And with the size of these bunches, you're going to lose 10, 15 seconds if you're at the front of the group and the back of the group. That's the difference because they are so big. Could watch out today for maybe some of our riders who haven't figured in the overall. People like Evan Swart, who we know can sprint. He could take advantage of the fact that he's not there in the overall. And the climbs today are all relatively short.
A stage win on the final day of the MyWhoosh Championships is nothing to be sniffed at all. There is something in stage 1 and there's something in the final stage that makes the legs golden. Well, Pano Alalucia is wearing that golden jersey at the moment down there in the start. It's a 12-second gap over Aidan Sinclair he has on GC. It was 18 seconds he took the win by yesterday. Dominic Bergam has been doing a great ride as well. He's 51 seconds back on GC. He is a rider that's been getting better and better, and it's going to be one to watch, I think, for the future.
Definitely. So category 4 down in the start pens, just under 3/4 of a minute to our race start. We're just going to dive in with category 5 because we've just gone through our sprint, first sprint of the day at 5.9 kilometers. That's the coastal sprint. And Emma, these sprint points are critical. Warren taking 5, Macedo taking 4, Laszlo taking 3, Santos taking 2, and Mazaros taking 1. We've seen the battle unfold between Mazaros and Warren. Laszlo now on the move, and I think on the attack. I think in some ways this is almost a pattern maybe for the day. People going for the sprint on the day, but then having to battle the overall. Yeah,
just 7 points separated Warren from Mazaros at the start of the day. And I said 25 points available, so that could well run. Riding at the moment at the start pen are category 4. Juan Restrepo on the front as they swing out onto the course today. Marvin Angarita right up there as well. Niall Batty in the polka dots. He can't be touched in that competition, in that King of the Mountains competition. He's got 142 points to Aidan Sinclair's 115. Those two riders head to head in the mountains, but it was Niall Batty when the slopes really went up. Polka dots will stay on his shoulders. The sprint competition, Sinclair battling with Francis Pino. 3 points separate those two. That's going to be a different competition today because in category 4, the 5 segments really count. Andrew Rushmer on your screen at the moment in the blue sleeves, indicating he's leading the Masters competition, and he's leading that by 2 minutes.
Yeah, big gap for Rushmer at the moment, and I think that should be secure on Rushmer's shoulder, sitting in 15th place overall. He's been putting some great performances inside that top 20. Can he break top 15? Can he get top 10 today in that run for the line? I think the sprints today, that competition is going to be really interesting between Pino and Sinclair. I agree with you. I mean, that is going to run, I think, probably to the line. Interesting to see Marvin Angarita out of the pens early. He's the sprint winner from earlier in the championship as well, and you can't discount him in a finish. He could be a good pick today with the hills on the way in. He's good on the way out of a tough stage into a sprint. Yeah,
Francis Pino in the GCC jersey. He's clear of Clinton Cirillo by 6 minutes. So really great work from him today. The Masters jersey we've already talked about. Andrew Rushmer wearing that ahead of Nelson Schneider. The Young Riders jersey, well, interestingly, That's on the shoulders of Aidan Sinclair. He is 1 minute 12 seconds ahead of Matteo Pinot. I was going to talk about the team competition because for me, there is Aidan Sinclair still in his warm-up jersey coming out of the pen. Expect that to come off later. Got some choices to make today, has Sinclair, over what his focus is going to be. The sprint competition, the overall. Is he happy with second place and going for the sprints, or is he going to put it all in the bag today and lay it on the line for the overall title?
You say decisions to me. He could let the road decide and see how the chips fall today, and play it very dynamically.
Well, another chip to fall today is the team competition. Panu Analusa on your screens at the moment will be defending that golden jersey all the way to the line. He goes through that Ferrari showroom. One or two of those Ferraris, the same colour as the jersey he's wearing. Well, his avatar is wearing. Golden Ferrari, golden jersey. Nice. The team competition, Pedal Club are currently leading it. But when I say leading it, they're leading it by 10 seconds.
And their leading rider overall is just inside the top 10. That's Ryan Giuliano, who's just inside that top 10. So it shows you the strength of the team as a whole.
Yeah, they're leading it from the BMC Anzacs, 10 seconds the gap. Cycle District 4A are at 45 seconds. The top three teams, 45 seconds the gap in Category 4. It's going to be interesting to see whether anybody tries to overturn that today. Level Golden have also done a great job. They're only 2 minutes 35 back. And then it's a big gap back to Cafe de Colombia, who are at 20 minutes.
So the attack's going on the front from Hassan Sultan and Juan Restrepo. They've got the gap. Karanaki just looking to come across the gap with Eric Rimborg as they make their way up here. We're just in with Ryan Giuliano at the moment, just looking to make sure he stays in position. He won't want to lose any kind of position at all. Leading a rider for that Pedal Club squad, Giuliano tucked in here and at the moment in a good place, but we've a long way to go. 2.6k covered. Our total race distance today, 79.2 kilometers. We go in with Arthur Kabwani. He's the nearest rider to our screens. Arthur been putting in some good rides today, particularly when it goes uphill. Hovering just outside the top 20 at the moment. He's only about 14 seconds off breaking the top 20. And some great rides from him inside the top 20 as well. Maybe a top 15 today, Arthur. Potential target for the last stage. Well,
and Andre Corbani, his dad in the background in Category 6 and doing a good job there as well.
Indeed, don't forget the dads out there.
I love the fact that they've ridden the MyWhoosh Championships in two different categories side by side. Absolutely brilliant. And you can see all sorts of riders in the mix.
Now, great to go in with some of our riders that we've maybe not been in with throughout the championships. In with Salio Specialist at the moment, just tapping that rhythm out on the bars, keeping an eye on the screen to the side there, looking to make sure he continues to push here. And we're going to see how he goes on today. Another of our riders who's been battling it out across all of these stages, been in 35th position overall. Been really consistent. In fact, he was 33rd on the stage yesterday. Let's go in with Eben's thoughts. Eben has been keeping us entertained when we've gone in with him with the smiles and with the sprints. He isn't our Lantern Rouge.
No, but he is a rider with a great turn of pace and could be eyeing up the finale today. Eben's Fart towards the front of the group at the moment and pushing on in this mix. Francis Pinot right at the front of the pack here at the 3.6 kilometre marker. The GCC rider does not want to back this off.
No, he's going hard here because he knows by making it hard here, Sinclair's going to have one eye on the overall because he's second place. And Pinot, I think, is going to try and take it to him by going sprint after sprint after sprint. And that's the way to do it. Make it hard for everybody. One man who's got plenty of Yorkshire grit when it starts to get tough, and we know he's going to be able to dig in deep, is Graham Pearce. That Yorkshire flag proudly displayed in the background. The Yorkshire squad have already got some really good results, the riders from Yorkshire.
Don't make him smile. He's trying to race hard.
He is trying to race hard. You do know that at one Olympics, if Yorkshire was a nation, they would have actually been 7th in the Olympics.
Impressive, isn't it?
It is for a small county in the north of England. Yes, it's not by going, is it? In the Olympics, they would have been 7th nation at one point and beaten Australia.
I'll tell you something. Aidan Sinclair has made his choice. The jersey is off. He's pushing on here and he's going for this sprint and he's going long. He's going hard at the 5.9 kilometre marker. That's where the checkpoint is. Oh, he's got 1.4k to go. The gap's starting to extend, but Pino is chasing.
So Pino going on the offensive. Sinclair goes, anything you can do, I can do better. And he's gone off the front now. Here's the tactic for you. Go now, don't come back.
Wow.
Go long, go big, or go home. And it might be that's the tactic here being employed. It's brave if it is, that's all I'm going to say. So we are going to dive across because we are still a little way off the start. We're going to dive in with Category 3, who are waiting to go in our pens. Matteo Corrales, our leader in Category 3 in our general classification from Michael Jacquila. The gap, a humongous 1.619 seconds.
I'll tell you something, someone's going to be glued to a wheel today.
That's like being 5
I wonder if they're going to go slow.
Not even that.
Yeah, I know.
Not even that. That could be one place.
And easy at the start.
It's nothing.
Yeah, and it's going to go close to the wire today, I think, Category 3.
That'd be nice.
Huel horse 1 minute 9 seconds back. But there are some great riders in here, and there's a lot of riders within 2 minutes.
This is your first time watching this.
Inside 2 minutes here.
You have no idea how tough these guys are.
Take a little look. 8th and 9th. Wilson Villada, 2 minutes 7 seconds back, 0.2. Jakub Wojciech, 2 minutes 7 seconds back, 0.4. There could be shifts in the top 10 overall today.
I think there could well be.
I don't mind racing though. Gets it over with.
Taking the win, putting down the Watts. I must admit, I smiled when Haley said that on the podcast yesterday. I thought it was great. David Watts with the Watts taking the win. I
just can't wait for.
We go into a man with plenty of Watts at the moment.
I might have a day off tomorrow and then do the time trial on Thursday. But
chasing riders,
so I really enjoy the time trial.
And it's now Hobson's choice.
Team time trial.
About letting the road decide.
But I think it will be difficult for me to perform because I'll be tired.
You can't make a call whether he's carrying on or not. I think that's.
Oh, I think he's going to back off because it would be the sensible choice. The headwind out there on the sections will just make the pack roll faster. But we shall see. Sinclair from Pino, from Thoof, from Snyder, and Pruitt.
That sprint competition going to run.
My teammate just sent me a message. He said he predicts a load of attacks today. Because we've got sprints, so there's 5 sprints. 5 sprints. At the end of the day, the person with the most points on the sprints gets some prize money. And there's 2 climbs. They're not massive climbs, but that means they're always going to be done at a very high intensity.
In that sprint stage, so we'll see.
And it's the same again. You get points at the top of the climbs. And at the end of the stage, the rider with the most points for the climbs gets some prize money.
First and last stages. This race already.
I like climbing.
Race category that was in at
I don't know if I have a speciality. On what's classed in cycling, you have what's like it's called a phenotype. Whether you're like a puncher or a sprinter or a climber. And I'm in the category of an all-rounder. I'm really good at everything, but I'm a master of nothing. Depending on the race, I can enter some races in Zwift and be the best climber in the race. But in this field here, there is no bad rider. Everyone is super strong. Every single one of them.
I know.
World class. I know it says category 2, but a lot of these guys and me, I'd beat some of the category 1 riders. It's just the way it goes. Depends on the race.
Yes. So Matthews Kalman has taken the hot dog off of his shoulders and is now on the bike in the MyWhoosh jersey. He's right to the front of the category. You
just keep plugging away at
cave of Joanna Kalman.
I was thinking about it this morning. Actually, it popped into my head about your drops and that. Keep ticking off routes as well. So go into all the short routes because when you level up, you go up levels quite quickly early on. You get a bunch of drops as well for leveling up. So just keep ticking off the smaller routes as well, and you'll get loads of drops that way, and you'll get experience.
group
because you
down
can't
the
buy
road
the canyon
so
until you're at a certain
5
level
riders,
anyway.
4 or 5 seconds down the road.
So if you get bored of robo pacers,
Christopher Morgan, Van der
jump
Zandt,
in with the routes again and just tick off badges.
It is, but it's not far down the road, and I think that as we come into Ferrari World, you've just got to really rock it off the front.
You do. Category 3, the team competition is so tight. Suffer together on the top of the competition. The Level Vikings 51 seconds back. BMC Street Elite 1 minute 56 back. It's been such a tight competition. Tamo Friedeck on your screen has also been having a fabulous race out there. That's also been a great one to watch.
It has. We've been in watching our riders, and Tamo amongst the many riders
so
has gone.
Happy. It's
I
brilliant.
know. Make stage
Yeah, I
7.
mean,
One more,
cycling. There's another little trick you can do on Zwift. You can turn down the trainer difficulty.
Really good stages.
I'd stick it down because then you can just find a nice steady pace, and you won't realise the gradient so much. So you can just stick to a certain wattage. Your avatar will go slower up hills, but you won't find it so hard. Just take longer.
Category 3, and that is Dorvin K. Ellos. Well done to.
I think once you get your head around training difficulty, that's it's nice to understand.
It's been a great ride for him, and one of the riders I think who we see strong performances on the Sunday Race Club, and sometimes when you least expect it. Well, in the Masters competition, the blue sleeves are on Antti Poni's jersey. He's leading that competition after 9 hours, 28 minutes and 19 seconds of racing by 2 minutes 38 from Martin Condor. They've had a really great battle out there, and it is good to see, but Pony is the rider going into today in that Masters jersey. In the young riders jersey, that's been a fabulous competition out there as well. In category 3, and so close. It's just representative of all the other riding and racing out there because it has been fabulous everywhere and so close. Fabio Hulhorst is the rider, the Peak Power Racing 3B squad rider who's leading that competition.
So okay.
2 minutes 48
it's the last stage.
From Sergio Osorio.
I always get nervous because you know how hard it's going to be. That's fine.
Just how close
I hate getting dropped.
And
I hate not being good enough.
Don't forget, not all that long ago, was leading in the GC.
I think some of the times I get dropped on
we are talking
these
about
type of races, it's just
being
because
up there
the motivation goes, not my ability.
Franklin Almeida on our screens. Another of our regular riders on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, a regular rider on the championship, currently laying.
And no, we won't be on a team call. There's just no point, really.
And tucked into the group, Jean Yannicki on here. We've regularly been in with Jean, who's either got the world's
no way we can help each other, and this we just got to stay in the bunch.
Or he's got multiple jerseys at the same time because he's been consistent in his jersey choices.
Highly likely. Well, the sprint winner at the moment, well, should I say the sprint winner?
But my teammates, Daniel Mundell,
Christopher Morgan from the Level Vikings, he's on 67 points, but Mason
Mohammed, I can't pronounce his surname,
so 8 points with 25 available today
Hoffman,
in the category
Lucas
3
Hoffman
competition.
from
Jerry
Australia, I
on
think.
your screen at the moment, up and out the saddle, dancing on those pedals, right to the fore of the category 3 pack and doing a great job of being in the
I might have that
mix.
wrong, he could be from New Zealand, I don't actually know where he's from.
Is done, however.
With the winner.
We had another guy, Camille Danes, absolute super strong rider. Unfortunately, he had to drop out on day 1 because he lives in, I believe, France.
So
he said it was 42 degrees. I just thought that was unsafe for him to carry on. So.
And it is great to see the rest of the riders moving on and moving.
Yeah, that's no problem, mate.
In the competition and out there on the course, that too is great to see. I mean, I'll put the commentary up. I think you can hear it. Of the day category 6 pack.
I thought that's quite good. The official stream in the corner.
Mamba and Fager, the riders going over in the top 5.
Now you can see we've got Luis Andrade, Ivo Schur, Rafael Buster, and Aruna Vegenbakken in there now.
Yeah, and I've got my new mic, so I've got music blaring in the background, but I'm hoping you can't hear it.
Moving up 11 places,
if I turn the stream music off,
coming in,
you should just be able to hear.
Didn't have the time trial I think he wanted.
You can't hear what I'm listening to.
Holding top 5.
Says wearing headphones.
Race overall, Bakken. So good position by him as we go in with.
Exactly.
Riders going on. Let's see how the this race continues, and let's see how the battle continues out there at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen between here and our finish line as we go.
The Zwift races are a lot shorter than this as well. They're
Marina circuit,
40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes.
Sure, nicely tucked.
They're a lot easier. This is going to take.
I'm going to say about Category 3. And
2 hours.
I think it's really. We have seen in the MyWhoosh Championship confirmation that the categories are just getting harder and harder and harder to race. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean they're more competitive. Patrick Karlstrom. Come on,
Thanks, man.
You can do this. Come on, buddy. One more to go. One more day to go. One more stage to go. Pat, we've been in with Patrick every single day, and he has done an amazing job. I'm just hunting for Patrick actually in the overall. Do you know, when the field's this big, it does take me a while. Amazing.
But can I also just say the Category 3 race, Category 3 in the men's, Category 3 in the women's, for me, the strength and depth of the Category 3 fields has been fantastic. It's like they're squeezed in the middle of all the other categories, and hence they end up being so tightly packed in terms of ability. And that has just given us fabulous racing. Well, Mason Rocker at the moment is dialing it on the front, and Rocker, part and parcel of that competition in the sprints with Christopher Morgan. Rocker currently lying in second place. I think he's got first place on his mind.
So here we go, Mason Rocker looking for the points today. He's got the gap, but don't discount Rocker for continuing onwards here. I think that is, for me, the thing here. He eases off. Interesting. Look at that. Straight off there.
Morgan, look at the sprint coming from him. He wants 4 points to Rocker's 5. Because if he keeps going that way, all he's got to do is finish second every time or in the points. Because at the moment now, Rocker moves his points up, but so does Morgan. It was, I'm just confirming, an 8-point gap going into today's stage. If it finishes like this every single time, it will come down to a 3-point gap, but it won't change the positions.
I don't think I'd like to be sat there with the gap coming down that close. That would not be my idea of fun. Now, our defending champion from 2025 in Category 2, Mr. X100, has the lead, has the gold jersey, and by a good margin here. Is it insurmountable? No. Is it likely to go? Equally, no. Let's see how these riders play this today, because Mr. X100 leading 29 seconds from David Nitko, who took the win in the time trial, is on storming form, as you can see. He put 13 seconds into Mr. X100, who was in second place in the time trial, just from his teammate, half a second, not even that, 0.3 of a second, separating Mr. X100 from SS. SS taking the most climb points on the day, Julian Hertz taking the sprint points on the day.
Yeah, and Category 2 on the final countdown now, the final countdown to the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships for 2027. We're in with Mohammed Al-Kais at the moment. The lights go green, away go Category 2. The battle commences out there on course. They've got 79.2 kilometers of racing today to decide this, and there are a number of battles out there that may well be played out.
I think so. I can't wait to see this unfold, because Category 2 is so ferocious. I think it's one of our race categories where no one ever goes into Category 2 thinking that it is not going to be literally shoulder to shoulder.
Well, shoulder to shoulder it's going to be. X100 is wearing multiple jerseys today underneath that golden leaders jersey. One of them is the GCC. He's leading that competition from his compatriot SS by 1 minute 5 seconds. He's also wearing the Masters competition jersey, which he's leading from Peter Milostic by 39 seconds. There's a lot of defending jerseys and titles that are going to be going on out there today. because David Nitko is 29 seconds back on GC. Peter Milostic is 39 seconds back on GC. And when I look a little bit further back through the top 10, there are some very, very tight battles out there in terms of positions. Mitchell Stewart is currently in 7th place, 2:19 back. Nikolai Damsgaard is in 8th, 2:32 back. Well, that is only, what, 13 seconds? So it is really, really interesting.
So we are up, we are away. We're in with one of our really strong young riders, Milan Termerton, who is up and racing. He's going to be in action today. He's leading in the youth competition. He's up, he's out, he's away. What is he going to do today? So let's see how he does today. On our youth competition, he's not on the front though. It's Maciej Mendakowicz, who's the other end of the spectrum here, the other scale.
He is indeed, but he's pushing on and riding strongly. And Maciej Mendakowicz, one of the riders who we like going in with because he is he's such a brave rider and he likes a hard race. And it really is good to see the work that he does and the strategic positioning that he puts himself in. Julian Hertz also riding strongly, well, let's just take a look here. Julian Hertz is in the mix and he's currently lying 2nd in that sprint competition, 10 points behind Vidal Mayer. He closed that down yesterday, but I'm not sure he's closed it down enough. There are 25 points on offer maximum today. But Vidal Mayer is such a strong rider and such a good racer. I don't think it should be too hard for him to take that jersey away. Jamie Cahill on your screen. Great racing from him over the championships.
It is indeed. Jamie Cahill. It's great to go into Jamie's pain cave time and time again. And he's one of our regular riders on the MyWhoosh Championships. Let's see how he goes on today.
Mate.
He's out onto race route. He's looking good at the moment. And Jamie's done a great job. Our riders in category 2 have to be aware, though, that we could see moves. There are some really good breakaway specialists in category 2 today. And I think when we hit those trigger points coming in towards the end, the Bahrain Hills, there's the potential. It's still a good distance to the finish. I think once we're going into the Yas Marina in the last 5K, that is going to be very different. You're too close to the finish there. But the Bahrain Hills may be too far away. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it is. The 3 riders just off the front here, just hanging out. And you can see the pack doing the chasing, bringing them down. We're going to go with a number of riders. David Nitko currently lying in 2nd on GC. He's on your screen. Gal Yazbek has been putting in a great race as well. He's one of those riders who was in that youth competition. He's lying in 2nd place, 2 minutes 51 back behind Milan Termerton. Nathan Guerra on your screen has been having an amazing championships and really been battling stage in, stage out. He's lying in 5th place on GC. And Miko Machado on your screen as well.
Yep, Nathan Guerra has had a great championship. And I think had that time trial gone more his way, then he really would have found himself right up in the top 3. I think that time trial yesterday, it's a stage he's going to look back on, take those lessons and then move forward and look at when he goes in, I think maybe a different strategy. I think he gave it everything. I think he went for it. And I think that's the style of Nathan Guerra, is to go really hard for it. And maybe it just didn't pay off on the day. But do you know what? I would quite like to have a bad day and still be inside the top 5. That's good going for anybody out there. Now we're in with Simon Walter.
Master of the cooling.
He is indeed, and at the moment, Simon Walter just hovering around the front. Now, when we talk about fast finishing and coming into a race finish, going to be good. He's a rider we think could be there.
He's 18th on GC at the moment, 9 minutes back, and it's been a great race and a great race.
They did a female race before this as well. They've been on the go now.
In terms of that team competition,
I've been 9 days straight.
Spot, 3 minutes 23 seconds ahead of the Goats. At 4 minutes 43, a team Balbina in 3rd. 7 minutes 46, the Peloton Phantoms.
And they've been interacting with all the riders and everything.
And I tell you, there are some real close times still behind. So great racing across category 2. And I think today is going to be...
It's all good. It's going to kick off as we come into that little dip.
Great riders.
Because the sprint is just after it.
Out and away, out on race route. We're in with Josh Power, the Ice Vest, there to keep him cool, to keep that core temperature down as he starts generating the heat, putting down the watts. And that's one of the key things for our riders, keeping their themselves optimized. It's what you can do when you're indoors that you can't do when you are outdoors. Optimize your race performance because it's a controlled environment. Yes, things can change. Yes, things can move, but going to be a very interesting race, I think, today for all of our riders, because I think there's going to be a lot that they can't control. I think because it's one of those race routes where, because there's no monster climb, there's no obvious one place where it's going to go hard. I think every attack point, whether that is going to be a climb, a descent, whether it is a sprint, it's a sprint checkpoint, it's going to be a place where you could see the change in pace and you can see it break.
Well, the break is being caught here, and you can see the group coming across and the rest of the pack following. Take a look on the top right-hand corner of the screen. The large group all coming back together again. Hoyas, Machedo, Troshanowski, Nuki, Hertz, Mendakowicz are all towards the front of this group. Milan Termerton, the young rider. I tell you, he's a rider who's just been getting better and better and better. And that is great to see.
Yeah, I do like Milan Termerton's efforts, the way that he's putting them in. I think he's definitely a rider for the future, sitting in 11th place overall. I think Termerton has put in a really consistent race. His best days were the mountain stages. So he went really well on our mountain day, and then he did the same on the climb day. And I'm sort of differentiating the two because the mountain day was in Bhutan, where we had the ascents and the descents. So it was hard climb and rest. The climbing day was just pure climbing when we were in Colombia to go, which was basically all uphill. Now, Nicolas Fournier has had a solid ride, I think, all the way through the race here today. He has, I think, he's been consistent. He's not been a rider who has been right at the top. The only day he had a bad day, there was day 2, and I think that cost him overall.
Yeah, and Nicolas Fournier, one of the coaches on MyWhoosh, so you can join his live coaching sessions. He's also a fabulous sprinter, part and parcel of that Windmill Eiffel squad, the bringing together of France and the Netherlands.
Now, as we run in towards our sprint at the 5.9 kilometer mark, Trojanoski has got the jump on the riders Gorshak, Mayer, Machedo, Hertz, and Pardon Cooper. They've really got to move on the way up here, taking the way in underneath the banner here today. So as they go in underneath the line, you can see they have made the move. The points go 5 to Trojanoski, 4 to Mayer, 3 to Gorshak, 2 to Hertz, and 1 to Machedo. The power, though, not necessarily coming right off all these riders as they go through. Is this going to instigate a break? We will have to wait to find out. Let's have a little bit of a run out from the line with category 1 in a few minutes' time. Jason Osborne leading the race overall, the fastest time covering the distances of anybody, 8 hours, 43 minutes, 42 seconds, leading from Ollie Jones. Ollie Jones sitting in second place, 1 minute 13 down. The gap from Jones to Van Elst is not insurmountable.
Well, yesterday it was Osborne from Dont and Van Elst. Paradians took the points in the sprints. Osborne took the points in the climbs. For me, this Category 1 race is all about further down on GC. 1 minute 13 to Jones between Jones and Osborne. Then, wow, it starts getting really close. You start to see, what is that, 16 seconds between Jones and Van Elst in third. Then between Van Elst and Ruben Dont in fourth, it's 4 seconds. There's a bit more of a gap, 50 seconds back to Skierski, but then there's only 22 seconds back between Skierski and Fryatt. It is close out there. Pedersen and Kaminsky in 9th and 10th, separated by 30 seconds on GC. I can't really see this doing anything else than coming to a sprint today, but you just never know.
Cheers, man. It's not been too bad, actually.
I can't see this being anything but a sprint. I agree with you there. I would love to say it's going to break clear, but the main rider that you would suspect would do that break clear is Jason Osborne. And we've seen him try. And he said on the podcast, he's tried to go and he's not gone clear. He's tried to put in a dig, they've answered it. He's not found a way to break and get a massive gap. A lot of that gap was made on the time trial that he put in. it's not been easy to shed the likes of Jones. And, you know, when you've got riders of the class of like Neil Fryer, Van Els, Donts, Skierski, Milostic, Turek, Pedersen, Kaminsky, they're your top 10 in the overall chasing.
Yeah, someone sneaked up the front there.
What they're going to do, you know, okay, Van Els is a teammate of Osborne. He's not going to chase, but neither Skierski. But equally, they are wanting to keep their positions defended, if not improve on them as well.
Yeah, do you know, and the team competition in Category 1 has been absolutely fabulous. The final boss is leading the charge, 26 hours, 14 minutes, 58 seconds of racing, ahead of the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys by 6 minutes, 14 now. Zero Gaps Racing, 14:47 back in third. ZDR2, 17:05. So that has been great. Neil Fryer leading the Masters competition. He's wearing those blue sleeves out there today. He's putting in a fabulous performance, leading the Masters competition in 6th on GC.
As we make the move down the road, we said, will there be a break? Who do we see a push? We are seeing a push on the front here at the moment. I think Kroll right up at the front there, just looking to open the gap. We're in with Michael Kaminsky at the moment, but the gap just opening on the front there, but going to be closed down quickly, I suspect, here. Pucker, Kroll, Paradians, and Plantero. Now, if Hayden Pucker goes down the road, you don't want to be leaving him too much room because he's a breakaway specialist. But I'll tell you something, by him going on the front, he's making everybody else work and he's saving energy for Jason Osborne. The perfect domestic job.
He is indeed, and Dan Turek on the screen at the moment. You can see the communications going on amongst the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys. He's part and parcel of that squad in second place. Ollie Jones leading that for them. But Dan Turek himself currently sat in 8th place on GC. A great performance from him. He's 29 seconds down on Lyndon Milostic. If they get split in the packs, if Lyndon ended up in Group 2 on the road and Turek in Group 1, that could change. Pavel Skierski in the Young Riders competition in the white sleeves in that Category 1 race. He has been battling with Lyndon Milostic of the Wenger boys out there. He's 1 minute 19 seconds clear. Skierski is of Milostic. Look at that, 53 minutes of racing for Category 6 already complete. Yes. They're at the 33.6 kilometre marker. They are through sprint checkpoint number 2 and heading towards sprint checkpoint number 3.
They are indeed. So 2/3 of the checkpoint, over 2/3 of the checkpoint done, 2/5 of the checkpoint done. In fact, 40% of the way of the points already allocated out in that sprint competition in Category 6. They're ahead of Category 5 at the moment. But in with our breakaway riders here at the moment, Kevin Motmans and Marius Fossier, both with a view into the pain cave. Some serious pain cave aren't there in the pain cave of Marius Fossier. A little bit more on the walls than Kevin Motmans, but both riders, despite the difference in style, are very much united in this escape move at the moment. I think this is brilliant.
Yes, it is indeed. And the two riders up the road, it's only 6-7 seconds at the moment.
Come on, guys, keep pushing.
But they are continuing to push. They're coming up towards that Al Wathba sprint at the 30.1 kilometre marker. Nice moves here.
I think it's a great move.
You can see the banner in the distance.
I think it's a great move, and I think that the only problem for them is the power of so many riders in the pack. The draft are available there. It means that you get Gremsel here.
There'll be a crazy 2 minutes coming up.
And then you see the kick from Warren coming
after
up
the next downhill.
Fossier and Motmans have to jump early here, and the problem is they've already put in an effort to go clear. Now Warren is coming. Are they going to be able to pick up their pace to match it? I don't think they are. Warren is going to blast past them. He absolutely nails this on the way in towards the line. Nobody else has reacted. Joel Warren here. This really is a sprint of honor on the way in here in this sprint competition, but it's also a statement. It's a statement saying, you want this, come and get it.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody is going to be able to come and get it and take it off him. I think Joel Warren has just cemented his lead in that sprint competition.
Well, actually, no, it's not going to be for a bit.
To the line today.
18 kilometres in.
Racing hard. Warren from Motmans, from Fossier.
It'll start picking up.
Roy in that competition, picking up those points on sprint number 2. 3 sprints still to go in that Category 5 race. And if you take a look at the top, we've got groups on the road now, which is really interesting in Category 6 and in Category 5. Perhaps tells us a story of what might happen in some of the other categories as well.
And that is the danger, isn't it? When you see, say, a breakaway go, or then there's an acceleration for the sprint, get caught on the wrong side of a gap. If it's riders with tired legs that are in front of you and they can't chase the speed, they can't chase the gap down, they can't hold the wheels, you can get caught the wrong side. And you might have had the strength to hold the wheel, but you were in the wrong place. And that's why everybody wants to be up near towards the front, less chance of being caught the wrong side of a gap. But of course, the further towards the front you get, once you go on the front, you're in the wind and you are in trouble.
Category 1 on the front at the moment is Bjorn Andreasen. Do you know, we've not seen an attack from Bjorn Andreasen all MyWhoosh championships, and Andreasen now starting to move here. He's moving and moving strongly. They're coming towards the first sprint checkpoint of the competition here, of this stage, 5.9 kilometers into the stage, and Andreasen pushing on those pedals. Andreasen, part and parcel of the Zero Ducks racing. He's got Pedersen, Dont and Freiland in his team, and they've been doing an amazing job. Ruben Dont currently in a great position on GC, but Andreasen now in the mix. They're back together again. Nobody leading this out. They've got 1 kilometer to go now until that first sprint checkpoint. Van Elst paying close attention. Kroll on the front. Osborne in there as well. Melostic Power. Fryatt, who's having a great turn of speed and is on some great form. So is Thrall. They're part and parcel of the ZDR2 squad. So some great racing and some great riding right the way across the Category 1 pack here on the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026. Going with Marcin Wozniak at the moment, and you can see him there on the bike, in the pain cave, in the pack as well, on this run towards the line. Thrall on the front, Wozniak into Kaplinski, Pucker, Osborne, Paradians. Harris is there as well. Great to talk to Josh Harris on the podcast. Really enjoyed that. Stefan, I do like catching up with him. Hayden Pucker on the front there, also been a guest on the podcast. Jan Jazbek, one of the young riders in this competition, the Slovenian rider. Great to see him on the screen at the moment. And in this competition in Category 1, it's been a hard race, I think, for Jazbek. He's 55 minutes down on GC, but it has been a great one for him, just coming up from Category 2 into Category 1 and really doing the business. Well, doing the business at the moment is Jasper Paradians. Paradians pushing and pushing strongly. He's popped out of the pack, and so has Ruben Dont. Paradians goes underneath in that green skin suit. Ruben Dont, I think, is going to go through in 2. Skierski and Pucker from the final bosses trying to boss this around at the moment and working really well. So Category 1 through the first sprint checkpoint of the day. 4 more sprints to go, 2 climbs. It's all, well, I was going to say it's all on the line today, but it's only on the line for the placings on GC. There's some very close and tight seconds between riders out there. The top spot may well be decided. Jason Osborne in 1, the world champion, 1 minute 13 clear of Ollie Jones coming into this today. Category 1 are out racing. Category 2, we've got another breakaway. Well, Machado and Marquez, look at this. The 2 riders pushing on here. Nice to see the moves going in. It's a 9-second gap at the moment.
So Machado and Marquez, we've got our Portuguese rider, I think, and our Brazilian rider there on the move. United in a common language there in Portuguese. It may well be that they are going to be able to make
Someone's
their
off the
move
back.
and stay
2
clear.
people
There
are
may
off the
well be
front.
communication between the 2 riders. I think, Emma, are you hunting to see whether they're on the same team?
I was just taking a little look at the teams to have a look there. But in terms of that Cat 2 race, really interesting.
Yes. We are busy scrolling, covering all of these screens, multiple screens for Emma and myself here in the commentary studios as we try and keep up with the racing across all 6 categories in the men's and the women's. Lots to keep an eye on out on the roads of MyWhoosh. And don't forget, you could join the riders in the next MyWhoosh Championship. If we're going to have one, who knows? We are mere commentators, a mere cog in the machinery. So let's see how that plays out. I've got my fingers crossed for another championship, but let's get to the end of this one first.
They
Emma,
are
any
indeed.
news?
Yeah, they are indeed in the same team.
Are they
They're in the Cycle District 2A team.
Cycle District.
So
Go,
Marquez
go.
and
Yes.
Bushado, teammates going down the road. Absolutely loving that. The Cycle District 2A team. And let's just take a little look as to where they are in the team competition. The Cycle District 2A team are currently in, oh my gosh, this is why. Hold on to your hats, everybody. The Cycle District 2A team are currently in 6th position in the team competition. They are, let me just add that up, 1 minute, 31 behind 5th place.
Behind 5th place, wow. And they are only, what's that?
1 second.
They're nothing behind. They're 16, 19 seconds behind Ali Ofiomi.
I know, it's really close out there.
Yeah, it's really
close out there. It is really close out there, and this may be why we're seeing the moves down the road at the moment. So it's tight.
Good move. Well done, guys.
It's tight in the teams competition, not just in the 1, 2, 3, but also in the other categories as well. So great to see the attacks going in. Great to see the moves going in, and great to see the fact that the riders' legs are obviously feeling good enough to do it.
I am going to put a note of caution in terms of getting carried away with this attack in that it could be successful. I have to say, I think it's going to be very, very tough to do with so many people wanting to take away an individual win here. I mean, we just saw Phil Graves, the most experienced rider on MyWhoosh, having ridden the most number of Sunday race clubs. He's not, I think, going to be in the mix here today. Meanwhile, we're just going to dive in with Nick van der Zigard at the moment. If I can get my tongue around the all of our riders' names on the way through. The riders on their way down this straight. So you can just see the race playing out in front of you at the moment. So here we go. Clinton Dave Cirillo, category 4 on the race at the moment, just making the way down this straight, coming in towards the sprint line. Remember, our next sprint banner is in the distance. It's not quite in sight as they come in alongside the Al Wathba Lake at the moment, I think, as they make the way in here. So let's see. They're just going to push onwards here and aim for this line. So category 4 sprint competition, very close, remember, between Sinclair and Pino. Sinclair's on your screen. He's also battling in the overall with the overall leader, Panuel Lucia, who's in the mix there. The front of the race starting to open up. Sinclair going for a long one here. Sinclair on 68 points at the moment. Pino on 64. This is going to be for the second of our sprints here today. What is going to happen as this run goes in? I don't think Francis Pino is going to be able to answer this. And it may well be that Francis Pino knows that he's going to need to wait. And he needed too many people between himself and Sinclair. Sinclair is showing that he's going to battle for all of these. Pino's coming in second place. He's going to minimize his points loss here. But unless Pino is playing this very cagey and he's relying on the last 3 sprints, the gap has opened up. And now it's at a point where you need bodies between Pino, who has to be in front of Sinclair, can't keep on coming in behind him. The gap will go too big eventually.
Yeah, it will do indeed. And the category 4 pack
here we go,
coming back onto the wheels of Sinclair and Pino. Schneider is there as well. So the results, Aidan Sinclair takes 5 points, Francis Pino takes 4, Willem Thuft takes 3. He's there or thereabouts every time, and so is Nelson Snyder, 2 points for him, and Arthur Corbani in the mix. Up the Leeward climb, I am going to go back to, because we didn't manage to cover that climb segment in Cat 4. It was Arthur Corbani who took the points in that climb. Picking up the points out there today, maybe targeting the Bahrain climb as well to take the climb competition today. The race is on out there on this final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships. Zwift, the rider we are in with on the nearby list, it's his stats and his information that you can see on the screen at the moment. They're bringing Sinclair back into the fold as the pack continues to roll. And I say the pack, the category 4 pack at this point in the race, it is 43 riders.
43 riders together. We're back to big bunches. We went from yesterday where nobody could get any draft from anybody to now, if you're sitting in that group, you've got potentially 40 plus riders you can sit in the draft of in that group. One man who's a very adept at surfing the draft. I wonder whether he can surf in real life. He's definitely good at surfing the draft. Maciej Mendakowicz tucked into the wheels there as we see this group of riders at the moment make their way in. They're at the 18.4 kilometer marker. They've got a little bit of a kicker coming up in the shape of the Liwa climb. It's 1 kilometer of pain that's going to take you up the climb, 1,000 meters horizontally, 48 meters vertically, and that translates as a 4.9%.
Can I just say, Machado and Marquez are still down the road. Phil Graves from the UAE clan team is now giving chase. He's 14 seconds back from that duo. The main group, which currently has got Daniel Mundell on the front and Novosad, is even further back than that. So this is a really interesting move at the moment. And Mundell now starting to push into the climb. Ivan Nuki, Graves' teammate on the UAE clan team, now coming to the fore on the climb as well.
Phil Graves, as we said, one of our really experienced riders, certainly in terms of participating in that Sunday race club. Currently 236 race clubs, 52 Sundays in a year. It shows you just how many times he has ridden on that Sunday race club, and it means he knows how this race is. Now, interestingly, Graves starts to chase down. Nuki comes onto the climb. Nuki goes over the top, and Nuki's a teammate of Phil Graves. Machado and Marquez days are numbered on the front here because I think Ivan Nuki is going. I think he's going for the most sprint climb points today overall. Ivan Nuki, now look at the pace coming out of Nuki on the way up here, 8.5 watts per kilo. He knows time's running out. Machado is starting to sprint. Nuki's coming onto the wheel. Machado has the pure power. He has the watts. Nuki's got the watts per kilo advantage. They're still on the slopes here. They're going to go side by side. Great sprint into the line. Yuki's going to take it. Machado doesn't take those points there. I tell you something, that was tight at the top as Pardon Cooper, Marquez, and SS come through to mop up the rest of the points. Michel Machado, along with Ivan Nuki, thank you for a great sprint at that. That was brilliant. Real two very different riders. Machado with the power, Nuki with the power to wait. Absolutely brilliant. 5 points to Nuki, 4 to Machado, 3 to Pardon Cooper, 2 to Marquez, 1 to SS as we complete 50% of our climb checkpoints.
Well, and one more to go, and that's going to get interesting. Now, what's also interesting is that there are 40 riders in that leading group in category 2 at the moment. Ivan Nuki just off the front, but he's sitting around zone 2 at the moment, zone 1, zone 2, so he'll be brought back into the fold. And Mikel Machado wanting to keep the pace high on the front and calls to Ivan Nuki to do some work. But Nuki, I don't think is going to play Machado's game here. He's going to go back into the bunch. Interesting.
Thanks, man.
Yes.
That was all right.
It's I wouldn't go on. I love attacking racing. I love people who are prepared to have a go, but I have to say, I just do not see
I'm good now.
how you can go away at this point in the race and stay clear unless you took it wouldn't be going away. It'd be splitting the bunch into two. That's
go on, Mundell.
That is something that is potentially possible, but just to go clear, just so tough.
Well, it is on this course today because of it's just so flat. The pack will roll and roll strongly, and it'll roll faster than a solo rider out front, and it will make the catch. Splitting the pack in two is a different matter, particularly if you've got two equitable sized groups, because the packs would then roll separately, and then it would all be about who was in which group, which would make the impact on the overall. But at the moment, the 40 riders leading the category 2 race continue to move on now towards the second sprint of the day. At the third sprint of the day, the category 6-pack have been through it. And Mike Broadbent picks up the points from Ola Warren this time.
Nice one, Mike. Good sprint by Mike. One of the regulars. Yeah, one of the regulars on the Cycling Esports League. And the Cycling Esports League coming to an end this week. Actually, today on Bastille Day on the 14th of July. But the new season will be out soon as we see Walter Clays out of the saddle, tapping on the pedals in the MyWhoosh jersey. Good to see Walter. We've not had too many views in with Walter Clays, but good to go in with him at this stage. We're still a little way out from that sprint.
Nice choices, because the majority of people choosing to wear
30K.
the Championships.
That's the next sprint.
2025 on the final day of the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026.
Yeah.
Butcher on your screens at the moment. Now, he's a rider with a turn of speed.
He is. He's definitely one that you're not going to discount coming into our finish here as the sprint starts to wind up on the front. Manarelli chasing Rocker, but it's Rocker who's on the front with Morgan. The two riders together once again. Remember, this is for that sprint competition overall. Rocker versus Mason is for the points. They're winding it up behind as much to not lose any ground. They've seen these two riders go clear and actually go take a whole load of points by getting a breakaway. Maxime Bernard is chasing hard here behind. So is Manarelli and Almeida. Rocker, though, holding this. Morgan, I don't think, has the answer to Rocker's power, but we've still got distance to the front here. And look at Morgan chasing so hard here for Rocker. Rocker is on the front. Morgan is coming at him. Oh, this is going to be really interesting as we go in towards the finish. Nobody goes between the two riders, and Manarelli is continuing to lead the bunch behind with Bernard and Almeida. Mason Rocker there working well, but
it is the issue that unless riders get between those two, you know, it is going to be as it was as when we came into today. But Mason Rocker taking 5 points, Christopher Morgan taking 4, Manarelli taking 3, Bernard taking 2, and Almeida taking 1. In that competition, Rocker now on 69 points. But he's had 2 top spots today, so he could be just looking for the overall competition today. Christopher Morgan on 75 points, so it's 6 points separating them. There's 3 sprints to go. If it continues to go this way, the gap will close, and Rocker will take away the sprint competition today, but Morgan will take away the sprint competition of the championships. Well, category 3 rolling here, and they are looking to bring back the riders up ahead. 49 riders in contention at the moment, 2 riders down the road. So that makes 47 in the bunch. Big groups.
47.
Big groups out there. It is really, really interesting and great riding and racing. But it is that type of course where we see big groups roll together, and roll together they are. Wilson Velada on your screen at the moment, and he's part and parcel of the pack, nicely ensconced in there. The power numbers in green, 3 chevrons by the side of that power number, indicating he's in the strongest draft that is available to him.
Yep, Wilson Velada just sits down on that bike there, just tapping out the rhythm. Good to see you, Wilson. And thank you, everybody who gives us a wave. We do wave back in the studio. I know you can't see it, but it feels so wrong not to wave back to people who wave to you. It's a bit like riding on the bike. If somebody gives you a wave on the bike, you should wave back.
Yes, definitely.
I'm a great believer in that. You should wave first, ideally.
Category 1, coming up to 17 kilometres of the race complete, and Matt just randomly waves at the peloton.
They didn't wave back.
No, they don't.
They can't see me,
17 kilometres, and they're coming up towards the Liwa climb. They've gone through the first sprint. They're coming up to the first climb. The first climb checkpoint in the 19.7 kilometre marker. But if you look at the map on the top right-hand corner of your screen, the zone bar underneath will tell you that they are at a steady state recovery pace, zone 1 at the moment. As we go in with Lionel Vuyas in one of the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys. He's currently sat 9th place in the pack.
Good to see Lionel. Look at him. 2 hands wave there from Lionel.
Yeah, indeed. And the pack rolling very, very steadily, enabling him to do that at the moment. Zone 1. I'm loving the fact that he was at 191 watts at zone 1. And for the mere mortals amongst us, we can just look at that and say, wow. Matthias Van He has been putting in a great competition. He really is and really has. He's on your screens at the moment and doing a great job out there and riding strongly for his team as well.
Yeah, he's really. We did talk about him on the Inside the Race podcast, actually. Not with him, but about him, and I think he's definitely. I was saying I expect him to be a real permanent fixture in here, and I think it's great to see that the way he's been riding. He's a rider who, as well, I don't think he's afraid to have a go, and he likes the punchy courses. So again, a rider that could surprise people today, even though not necessarily, given that this is the world's best riders. You know, it's a horse category of riders. You know, that we see beyond category. It's amazing.
He made the World Championship final last year, so top 20
where he
in
belongs.
the world. It is indeed absolutely brilliant, and that was a fantastic semi-final that he raced in. Rick Van Erck on your screens at the moment. He's the avatar we are in with in the pack as the pace starts to move on the front now on the run into the climb. This is a short, sharp, punchy climb. It's just 1 kilometre in length with an average gradient of just shy of 5%. And the move on the front has gone. So big move off the front of the pack at the moment. It's been going with Rick Van Erck onto a climb. Yep, we get a quick wave, but he's got to put his hand back on the bars.
Yeah, get on with it, Rick. Come on.
This one is punchy and this one is short. And Rick Van Erck is right at the front of this. Rick Van Erck now starting to motor and he's chasing Michael Knudsen. Knudsen is the rider who's gone for a flyer down the road, and Van Erck in hot pursuit.
He is. He's just out of the saddle here, 80 revs per minute, tapping out 800 watts here. Gives you an indication of just how quick these riders are going. He's got the power down. He's gone past Knudsen. Osborne is behind, and Osborne is having to kick now as Van Erck goes at 10 watts per kilo. Will Van Erck be able to take away the most mountain climbing points on the way? Come on, Rick. It's not far to that summit. He's just got to keep on pushing now. He's got the world champion behind him. The world champion doesn't need to prove anything here today, but will he go after Van Erck? Van Erck has gone on the front. He's gone early. That banner is round the bend. He's got to keep on kicking. We're looking to see when the response comes. Osborne starts to lift the pace. The pursuit is on. Osborne is coming at 10 watts per kilo behind him. Van Erck is at 600 watts. He's got to find another gear here. Come on, Rick. You've got to keep on kicking. Osborne is coming. The line is on its way. Will it come soon enough? Is Rick Van Erck going to hold on for the points? He's kicking to the line. Van Erck is going to beat the world champion over the line. He punches the air in delight. Job done once, Rick. You've just got to do it once more.
I realised recently when I found out that Rick had 4 sons, that's why he lives on his bike in the attic.
Yes, 4 sons.
Yes. So Rick Van Erck doing the business on the first climb, taking 5 points in the climbing competition on the day against a fast chasing Jason Osborne. What a move from Rick Van Erck. That was a decision made and a decision executed. Jason Osborne comes over the top and just carries on tapping. Zach Nair is there as well. But what a move, what a climb, the Liwa climb. Do you know what? You can have some fun on the final day of a stage race as well. And Rick Van Erck takes the 5 points, Osborne the 4, Dont the 3, Jones the 2, and Pedersen 1. 29 riders in the leading group.
And Van Erck at the moment glued to the back wheel of Osborne for a reason. He does not want to let that gap go. But that injection of pace by Van Erck that's seen Osborne come onto his wheel, we are starting to see this group has been smashed to pieces actually by that move by Van Erck and Osborne. A massive, massive kick, massive push over the top there by the two of them for the points. Milostic is scrambling for the wheels. Pucker is behind here. I can't imagine he's necessarily going to be chasing. However, look at that. The damage has been done, and we're going to need to take a look at the composition of that group to see how that plays out.
Yeah, indeed we are, and it is indeed going to play out, and it's going to be really interesting today. So category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen, and we've got a push here. Lyndon Milostic is pushing because he wants to close the gap down to Osborne and Van Erck. He doesn't want to lose the front end of this race today. He's also pushing because this is the final climb up and out and over from the top of the Liwa Desert. You drop over, drop down, and then there's a small climb back up again, and then you move towards that Al Wathbert Sprint. sprint. The pack all coming back together, sort of. It will be in a minute because now Mikhail Kaminski is coming over.
Just going to be
the
attack
group,
after
and
attack
the
after
power
attack.
now off of Osborne. The group is going to come back together again. Kaminski resplendent in that Alpha Jaw kit.
The sprint's coming up.
Part and parcel of that Alpha Jaw team who are lying in second place at the moment.
Might die down after that.
Yes. And Alpha Jaw are not going to want to let too many moves go. I think they're wanting to hold those positions on their way down. So just making the way down in Michel Masik Mandekowicz just leading in the category 2 race, making his way clear of that bunch. He's got 13 seconds now to Gorshank and Trojanowski, Cahill, Co. The bunch behind at 13 seconds. Now, we saw Masik Mandekowicz do this in the MyWhoosh Championships last year. I think it was on the last stage in the run to the finish. He took away victory. As we go in with Dylan Kennett at the moment.
Yeah, he's still awake.
Kennett at the moment leading in the category 6 race. He's gone for a breakaway now.
Sprints at 30.1.
Riders to our finishing line, but I think Kennett here not just going on the into the lead just because we are heading out and onto the final stage of this course, but actually there is a sprint point up ahead, remember, as well. So sprint point of 55.8 kilometers, and I think maybe just thinking, let's see what's happening in this group, let's put a push in. Kennett goes, Warren is chasing, Smithson is behind the GCC leader, behind the sprint leader. They're all left at the moment as Kennett starts to tap that rhythm out in front. He's got power, but can he make it count here today? Let's see how that is as the race plays out, as they continue to push onwards.
Well, Masik Mandekowicz in category 2, part and parcel of that Team Balbina squad. Peter Milostic, the team leader in there, currently lying in third place overall in GC, 10 seconds down on Nitko. Marcin Trojanowski now doing the chasing and closing the gap down. And the banner just ahead here. And they're coming up to this sprint banner here at the 30-kilometer marker. Mandekowicz is going to go through and underneath, and this is the push from behind. Vidal Mayer is lining up. Trojanowski is the rider in front, and Mayer doing the business. But Trojanowski and Mandekowicz really pushing here. Mandekowicz, the breakaway, is going to take him through in 1.
Yep. Trojanowski, I think, is going to be in 2 here. He's got the kick, he's got the pace. I think it's going to bring him back to Mandekowicz here. Mayer is going to come through in 3rd place. Nitko then battling with Hertz for the minor places.
Trojanowski in the battle in the first sprint of the day took 5 points from Vidal Mayer. This is about the sprint competition on the day. And Trojanowski clearly choosing to go for that. So 2 riders now at the front, 3 giving chase, a couple of seconds back to the group. Really interesting. So still the 40 riders in category 2, but it's all playing around as we keep going through these sprints. So to confirm, Mandekowicz took 5 points, Trojanowski took 4, Mayer took 3, Hertz took 2. Those 2, of course, in the competition for the sprints overall. And Gorshank takes 1 point that time. Vidal Mayer now, I think, pretty much secure in that sprinter's jersey for the MyWhoosh Championships. Well, just taking a look at your screen at the moment, these are Category 6 riders. The Category 6 race is playing. They've been out for 1 hour and 24 minutes so far on the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships. Mike Broadbeck gulping in the air at the moment on the screen. Jonathan Fager, the look of concentration on his face as he tries to move himself up on GC on the final day. Pavel Tvardy at the top of the screen giving us all a wave. We're all waving back, and Cronje is there, Pierre is there,
Next one's at
Bennett
40,
is there,
1.7
on the screen, and Zimael and Grady
halfway
on the screen too.
just up there.
Great to see the view into the pain cave. I am going to say this again. Thank you, everybody who's done that. We do regularly feature riders on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, as well as all the way through the championship. And that window, and it really does help you get a real feel for the racing, the feel, the pace, the strength, the energy that's required as these riders push their way in. Gashek Zimiel, rider who really has, for me, excelled this time around. We've really seen him come into his own, I think. And I have to say, I've really enjoyed watching him race.
Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. And the peloton now starting to come towards the thick and fast end of the course at the 55.8 kilometre marker in about 1,200 metres is the sprint number 4, the Aquarium sprint. They then come off of that and straight into the Bahrain Hills, then through the Abu Dhabi sprint. And then it's a 9.5 kilometre run to the finish line. So this race really starting to come into the final stages now of the MyWhoosh Championships here in stage 7. This is category 6, and well, they are about to come in to the final 25 kilometers of racing.
Doing a great job. I've got to say. This, you think about all the added, how I can't even begin to think about how many pedal strokes that is in what is a relatively short space of time. That is, that is a serious amount of pedal strokes. And these guys are still there racing it out. They're in front of category 5 who are chasing. And at the moment at the 49.9K mark, just coming up to the top of this ascent that comes out to the 50K marker, you can just see the top of this climb. It's not categorized. And I would argue it's pretty much as tough as the leeward climb as well. The leading group in category 5 continuing to push at the moment, but the bunch are behind. So at the moment, Fossiad on the front, just working to try and keep that gap at the moment to those riders behind, to put them under pressure, to really start to damage the legs, to really test the legs of the riders. But as they come up over the top, I think we're going to see a push as we go into the sprint. Dylan Kennis up against Mike Broadbent there. Warren coming hard on the heels as well there. That was very close indeed.
So Kennett had already gone through 10 seconds earlier to burst bubble mat. That was
Oh.
Warren versus Broadbent yet again. And Broadbent
Apologies.
for the second time in a row getting the better of Ola Warren. So Dylan Kennett picking up 5 points, Broadbent picking up 4, Warren picking up 2, Fager picking up Warren.
Should rewind.
Warren
We
picking
clearly
up
need
3,
more coffee in the
Fager
commentary
picking up
box.
2. Yeah, I think we do. If anybody's got a coffee and would like to bring it in, that would be absolutely fabulous. But I'm not sure there's anybody within coffee range. 32 riders in the leading group of category 6. And in terms of the overall sprint competition today, Ola Warren has 16 points and Mike Broadbent has 12. There's 4 points in it. I'm not sure. Mike Broadbent, I tell you, he's giving it a final flourish, which is absolutely brilliant to see. There he is on your screens at the moment. I'm not sure he can overhaul Ola Warren unless he can drop him.
But we've got a big climb to come. We've got the
Bahrain Hills.
The Bahrain Hills, and that is going to change things because they're a sprinty type climb. They're an interval type climb. You've got a rise. You've then got a level. You kick again. You drop. You kick again. You drop even further. You kick back up again, almost as high as the high point. That is going to definitely take its toll, and it could well be we're going to see the damage being done there that makes all of the difference.
Yes, and well, the damage being done is actually on the front of this at the moment because Dylan Kennett has decided it's flat today. So he's going to ride away on the individual time trial. He blew big style. He sent me a message saying I really blew up badly and was right towards the back of the peloton. But today it's a different story. We're in the flatlands today, and Kennett has decided he wants to go out on the front now. 2 riders deciding they want to join him. Jonathan Fager on your screen, a real look of concentration on his face as he tries to bridge the gap now to Dylan Kennett. Emil Ivanov in the polka dots wanting to go with him as well because they're going into that Bahrain Hill section. Are they going to sneak clear off the front of the peloton? That's a really good question. Kvikström, the yellow jersey, coming up to the fore, but it's rolling steadily. I'm not sure they're interested in chasing.
No. I think I think they're going to see what happens on the climbs. I think it's very easy to think that Dylan Kennett can't climb because he used to be a trackie. It's a bit like saying triathletes can't corner. It's not true. Of course they can. But it's that same sort of preconception. Trackies don't do hills, but they can.
There's banks on a velodrome.
I mean, when was Dylan Kennett a track world champion? How long ago was that? It's a long time ago. It's not like it was just yesterday. He's not done any other riding since. It doesn't quite work like that. Can you remember?
Can I remember?
In fact, I think I can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, you tell me and I'll tell you if you're correct.
I think it was probably about 10, 11 years ago.
You think it's probably 10, 11 years ago?
Yeah, ballpark.
I think 11 years is correct.
Okay, I'll let you confirm that. But that's, you know, since then, you know, but even had he just come off the track, he still can climb. It's like saying, you know, Chris Hoy can't go up a hill. Well, we know he can. He's just not necessarily a pure climber. He's still going to be able to chuck down thousands of watts, which is going to help. Okay, speaking.
2015.
Okay.
11 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. Although it would have been probably a winter championship, so I might be out by a little bit.
I'm not thinking I'm going to be pedantic, but at the moment at the 29.1 kilometre marker, the Category 1 racer heading into Al Waspa. They're heading to sprint number 2. And there's a push on the front. Dane, Pucker, Harris and Paradeans. Kaminsky, Osborne, Power doing the chasing, but these 4 riders just clear of the bunch. Take a look at that. I tell you, there's also a rider dropped off the back of the bunch at the moment. So 4 riders off the front, 1 rider off the back, a sandwiched group in the middle. They've got Jasper Paradeans with them, the sprint leader. He's gone with them. Now, Jason Osborne decides he's going to cross the divide.
Osborne on the way across. This is what's going to happen, though, isn't it? If you see a gap go up the road, you see a group go up the road, you're going to see Osborne coming across towards it. But then if he goes on to the front and dials it with them, then you know that it's about the mix here. Is this a lead out maybe for Pucker to start to go for this sprint? You can see the kick here. Josh Harris is in this group as well.
Mind you.
Yeah, Paradeans has got that snap, the pure power of Pucker. I don't think he's going to have the answer for Paradeans snap and kick at the moment. Paradeans has got that. He's going to take the maximum points here. The sprint winner is going to take away the sprint points here on that sprint as he come through. It's what damage has it done to the legs of those riders who went for it? How much damage is being done behind? Paradeans with the 5 points, Pucker with 4, Osborne with 3, Dane with 2, and Harris with 1. Those points will be added to the points garnered so far. Who can do anything about this? Can anybody do anything about this now as we start to see the squeeze going on the front from Osborne? Now, back in Category 2, we're in with Peter Milostic at the moment. The man who had a great race mid-race moved himself up into a podium position. He's a rider who was really flying. We know he's an opportunistic rider as well, coming in towards the end of the race. He's a rider who could go for a breakaway. Bindakowicz, Milostic, you know, the two of them together, it wouldn't be a surprise as we see a move going here from Miguel Filo. And at the moment, this is the run. I think he's going for an early run for the points here because he's gone hard. Warren is coming up behind him, but Filo at the moment has got the gap. We have got to get to the 55.8 kilometer marker, so we've still got 500 meters to go. As they come around this turn, they've got a straight and then another 90-degree turn, this time to the right-hand side. Warren is running on. Kubiak is behind. Joel Warren wanting to make this his.
Yeah, he is indeed. Joel Warren wants a perfect set of scores today in the sprint competition. The question is, can he? Theo is out in front and Warren now starting to run onto his wheel. Going to look and see if he gets into that draft before the banner. There's still a little way to go, but it's not far. They're going to swing around the corner. There is the banner. I think Joel Warren's probably run out of road here and Theo goes underneath him one. Warren into Miguel Theo. Taking the 5 points. Warren going to have to be happy with 4 today. Kubiak coming out of the bunch to go under in 3. Motmans is there as well, just going underneath the banner. There we go. The rest of the pack roll behind. Really nice race. Really nice racing today. The group down to 24 riders now. So the Category 5 pack, I say 24, as another group come through the back, and you can see the tail on the group. And that's an interesting one. So Theo takes 5, Warren takes 4, Kubiak takes 3. Taking away 2 points in 4th place. I was about to say 4 points, but I would have been wrong. Mikulek and then Savic taking 1.
So more points in the back, more being added in. So this is going to be in. Just seen the comment from Maxine Fabra on the chat. Oh, so many riders wearing last year's championships jerseys. It's so cool. It is very, very cool indeed. And don't forget, a lot of those people getting the championships jersey because they finished the race in from the MyWhoosh team. The MyWhoosh looking after all of our riders who complete the racing, doing an amazing job of getting those bags out to people. We have seen them on camera.
We have indeed. Now, this is really interesting because this is a fabulous place to attack on the course here. So we've got the aquarium sprint, and then you drop into the section before the Bahrain Hills. Miguel Fio doing a brilliant job off the front here. Pfeiffer starting to run in with Vizsla behind and Thornton. The rest of the pack now going, uh-oh, hold on a minute, we've just realised what's happening. So closing down on the wheel.
So our riders closing on the wheel, the riders making the way out and around this race through the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships, stage 7 of the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026. This course, the Arabian Flat course here, 79.2 kilometers long, 428 meters of ascent, 2 category 4 climbs with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points respectively, giving a maximum total climb points of 10 points, 5 sprints, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 point for the sprints for first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, giving a maximum of 25 points in that sprints competition. Our riders now are in the lead of each of our race categories well into the race route. Remember, category 6 were the first to leave the pens. They set off 10 minutes in front of category 5, 10 minutes in front of category 4, who were 10 minutes in front of category 3, who were 10 minutes in front of category 2, and 10 minutes in front of category 1. And that means at the moment, our leaders on the road are still category 6. Category 5 are closing in at the moment, as are category 4, who are top right-hand side of your screen, or now coming onto our big screen. They are still some 3K away from the front from the next sprint point. But
a lot of climbing left to do now.
Ungara and Alalucia on the attack, on the move here.
Look at the move.
Yeah, and this now, if Alalucia's on the move, you've got to look for Sinclair. What's happened to him, or where are they at the moment? Ungara at the moment leading.
He's coming through the pack.
He's having to respond to this. He cannot let Alalucia go. Alalucia has ridden a super smart race. He's come to the fore when it's mattered. He's looking very, very cool, calm, and collected at the moment. He's going to be looking to defend that jersey, and maybe the best form of offense for him is to go on the offensive and start to break this up, really take the battle to everybody else. He's the gold jersey wearer. He is the rider who has earned the right. He's consistently been up there. He's been putting in those performances day after day after day. He's made sure all of his equipment reads correctly. He's gone through the weighing procedures. He's gone through the verification procedures, and he has put down the performances after all of his training, all the riding. And at the moment, he's the rider leading category 4 overall, and he's the rider with the gap to the bunch of 2 seconds, and he's making the legs hurt. Riders going off the back, and that's all because it is our leader. Now, look at this. This is great. We got João Machado, Junior Alberto Pérez, Mathias Kalman, and Christian Montoya. It is the MyWhoosh Jersey Club on your screens at the moment. Our avatar on screen is Mathias Kalman. They're not teammates, but they're by a common bond, and that bond is that they were racing those MyWhoosh Championships and have the same jersey. It is fantastic to see. Thank you very, very much, gents. I hope you feel you've done the jersey proud. We think you have.
Well, we do indeed. And Mathias Kalman pushing up into the top 20 in the pack at the moment in this category 3 race. And he continues to move. They are coming up towards the 50-kilometer marker. He's coming towards the start of the aquarium sprint section. And I say section because for 15 kilometers out there, the segments come thick and fast. We go through the aquarium sprint, we descend. We then come on to the Bahrain Hill section. That then takes place. That finishes at the 65.3 kilometer marker. And then a short period from there, we move into the Abu Dhabi sprint. Then it's the long long run for the line. I need to be very specific in my words and try and make my brain work. But at the moment, the category 5 riders are trying to make their legs work because the riders are moving and moving strongly. And you can see the packs getting caught. So category 5 moving through some of the category 6 race. I tell you something, there's a push on in the category 4 race because they are coming too. Neil Ungerer, Henry Yeast, Bartos Falana, they are about to catch Joel Machedo. Machedo, who was just previously on your screen, is about to see the category 4 pack come past.
So the category 4 pack are on a charge at the moment. They are absolutely flying. Can they make it stick here today? It's certainly good. I tell you, this is a huge group. It's way, way too big. They need to break this down. I'm not sure that they can do it. That's the problem they've got. So we'll see if they can do that. Can they get there? We will find out. Time to see how these riders go. Diego Oliveira on the front, Bergen behind, then Alalucia, Snyder, Rasumaki, Pino, Sinclair. We're getting towards when things are getting spicy in terms of running for the sprint line, but will that trigger a move coming into the Bahrain Hills where somebody could maybe break clear? Are we going to see an attack on the golden jersey? We're seeing a move for the sprint here coming from Aidan Sinclair. He's coming up on the shoulder here of Pino. Pino, sprint challenger, has just been swept aside, I think, here, and this could well be sprint jerseys decided on points. We're only going to have one more sprint left once we go out the other side of the Bahrain Hills.
That's true, and we're on the way in and coming through this sprint banner right now at the 55.9 kilometre marker, category 4, and it's Aidan Sinclair in that green skin suit who goes underneath the banner in 1. He's wearing the Young Riders jersey underneath it, so white sleeves and green sleeves. But at the moment, he picks up those 5 points in that competition. He's clear now. He has got a huge buffer on Francis Pino. It doesn't matter whether he picks up any points in the last sprint at all. That sprint competition is completely sewn up, and Aidan Sinclair now is the winner of the sprints competition in category 4. Well, just to confirm those points, Sinclair took 5, Pino took 4, Corbani took 3, Rusamaki took 2, and Falana took 1. The group 30 right.
Wow. So these riders up and out on this section post of the after the sprint. This is now going to be really, really key. So we are going to see, keep an eye on our riders. Don't go anywhere at all. Well, just taking a little bit of a look, we just used that opportunity there just to dive through the categories. We're going to go in category 1, and then category 1 at the moment.
I feel tired now.
Pucker pulling the pace
yeah,
up
I'm
here,
all right.
making it hard. Osborne is with him here. Jones is having to come onto the wheels because
like my brain saying, what's the point in carrying on?
Behind him.
Like, you can't win nothing.
Overall,
Pedersen
starting
a little bit of pride just wants to hang on and push through.
Paradines is in here. They're at the 38.6 kilometre mark. So we're a little way out from our next sprint.
That's when I know it's going to get hard in a minute.
I think we're just seeing the attrition here, which is really being caused in pursuit of maybe team competition.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, 28 riders in the leading group as they went through the Al Wasper sprint. They're now
they don't want that guy to win in front, so they're going to put the power down to catch him at some point.
At the front, the call for the movement from Osborne to Pucker, and come on, let's get this rolling. Ricardo Panizza on your screen, you can see him up and out the saddle, needing to close the gap down. Tom Thrall's putting in a massive dig to get back into the pack. I've just seen 11 watts per kilo from Thrall to get back into the group and not to go off of the back of the group.
It's
this
so
sort of
difficult,
pace is
fine.
fine.
You don't want
the
to
accelerations.
More energy than you need.
A series of hills coming up now.
Equally,
that's
at the moment,
suck.
I think everybody's is thinking we're now coming towards that moment. You've seen the pressure building. Now we're seeing move after move going off the front. We're seeing kick after kick coming off the front of this group. And they are absolutely flying at the moment. And I think for me, this is one of these key things. You know, we're doing 57 kilometers an hour, or the avatars are, even though our riders are stationary in their pain case. And that pressure is building. What's going to happen? Will it go pop, or will they all realize they're not going to break it? They're not going to snap it. They're not going to make people lose ground here. Category 1 at the moment, the last group out of the pens, chasing all the rest of the riders in front. Category 2 at the moment, Hoyos chasing Mendakowicz at the minute on the right-hand side of your screen. Breakaway specialist Carlos Manarelli in Category 4, continuing to push on as well. Category 1, another bit of pressure being applied. The ratchet is being pulled. It's a bit like just increasing the pressure a little bit and hold, little bit and hold. Andreasen and Plantero on the front. Paradians moving up into the wheels. So is Fryatt, so is Van Elst and Jurek and Skierski.
Well, big push here in Category 2, and I'm just trying to work out how much of a gap Maciej Mendakowicz has got, because I think he's a long way down the road. X100, the leader in the golden jersey, tightly in the group. Mendakowicz, not a challenger on GC, but a rider who is obviously wanting to ride for the overall win today. I'm just taking a little look as to where Maciej Mendakowicz is on GC. He's currently sat in 31st as we go in with the Category 2 crew, including Mendakowicz. You can see him there on your screen at the moment. Boulanger on the top, Van Elst, Category 1, along with Rick Van Aert, Category 1. 2 Category 1 riders joining our Category 2 riders. But Mendakowicz, Macedo, Guerra, Fournier and Walter, the middle line here, all in the mix and in the bunch, apart from Mendakowicz, who's off the front.
So Mendakowicz with the gap, just tapping that rhythm down. Everybody else looking to close the gap, trying to bring him back up to the front, bring him back into the fold, as they make their way up here. It's a tough ask because we know he's good on the way to accelerate up here and get these points and to hoover up the points for them to try and go to the finish. Remember, the checkpoint, the final checkpoint for the sprint at 69.7K. The final climb checkpoint at 65.3K, and all of our races riding into the Yas Marina Formula One circuit based in Abu Dhabi. That is at, they're going to take them in at about 70. It's about 75K into today's race. You go on to circuit, but you do almost a whole lap as you go round, and you're going to finish at 79.2K if you're out there racing. That's the distance you've got to cover. A monumentally long stage to finish today's race off, racing off in the championship.
Well, Category 1 through the Palm Grove sprint now, and Jasper Paradian's picking up the points again. But 4 riders now gone from that leading group since the sprint 10 kilometres ago. So the group in Category 1 getting smaller. Category 2 at that point, Mendakowicz was 36 seconds clear. And they are, well, they're another 5K down the road now. I'm ringing warning bells in my head at the moment, because Mendakowicz, part and parcel of Team Balbina, 3rd team on Team GC in Category 2, 1 minute 20 behind the 2nd team on GC in Category 2. It's going to be an interesting one. Well, this is also an interesting one because Category 1, boom!
Mr. Osborne,
has gone.
Is.
At the 42.8 kilometre marker. They're coming towards the climbs before the aquarium sprint, and then they'll be going into the Bahrain Hill section. This has got to be the section of climb, well, the section of course, really. You've got around 15 kilometres where it's at its most hilliest, if you can call a 80k parkour with only 420 metres of climbing hilly.
Yes, because of where it's concentrated. So we just saw the points going out in Category 1 before that attack by Jason Osborne. Category 6 coming through the Abu Dhabi sprint. which is our final sprint of the day. Morato taking the 5 points, Warren taking the 4, Quickstrom taking the 3, Fager taking 2, and Evanoff taking 1. Warren still on the front with Morato. The gap, you can see a couple of seconds back between Warren and Quickstrom at that moment in time, and it's still a couple of seconds as Warren continues to push on the front of the Category 6 race, as we see Manarelli still leading by what looks to be 15 or so seconds from the rest of the Category 3 race. So at the moment, we've got lone leaders only just in that Category 6 race as Morato goes back into the fold of the bunch, which is coming up behind Warren's back wheel at the moment, but bigger gap elsewhere. Now, we are just going to take a look at Ola Warren at the moment. He's up on your screens.
And he's working hard on the front at the moment because, well, just because he is. And they're down to 20 riders in that leading group now. At the Bahrain Hills, they've lost riders since then. Jonathan Fager went up and over and took that hill section. Let's just remind ourselves that the last sprint, there were 32 riders in the leading group. So they have lost a number of riders in contention out of that group. Warren, Sarro, Quickstrom, the golden jersey, is in the group and has made the juncture, has made the selection. James Melville in there as well. Torsten Holtz in the mix. Good sized group now. They're going to be coming towards the finish line. They've got around 8.5 kilometers to go.
So 8.5K to go for them to get to the line as Category 1 is really being shaken up here. It's attack after attack after attack. And Osborne this time with Pucker together. I think this is a team attack on the move. We keep seeing this. Osborne, is he taking Pucker clear? Is this to see what they can do together? I think this is a really good move by the Final Bosses squad here. They've gone up on the attack. They have gone on the offensive here. You've got Osborne in the front. You've got Pucker behind. And they've shed Fryatt, they've shed Thrall, they've shed Shurek, and you can see it's panic stations behind. They have to answer this attack behind. If Pucker and Osborne can keep pushing, then you're going to see this gap open out. They're taking it in turns here at the moment. They're sat at just under 6 watts per kilo. Osborne, I think, has got the long range power. Hayden has as well, but Osborne climbs better. Osborne, I'm not sure, needs the time. But is this a move to try and push Pucker up through the standings?
Well, that would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? And, the team play and teammates are all there in terms of working here. Just taking a little look back to see how close it is. And it is close, you know, back there. There's 3 riders in a very small space of time. Around 21 seconds separates 3 places above Hayden Pucker and himself.
Wow.
So that's an interesting one as well. Category 2 is really interesting out there at the moment because Maciej Mendakowicz is down the road. And if I'm right, David Nitko has given chase. I'm not quite sure if David Nitko is back in the bunch, but it is all on. An X100 may soon have things to defend. The team competition, I think, that between 2nd and 3rd place could fall. And I think Nitko is the one that X100 needs to watch because he's 29 seconds back on GC. Jason Osborne and Hayden Pucker now starting to ride away from the pack. This is great. The master and the apprentice needs to get on that wheel.
He does indeed. Category 1, left-hand side of your screens with Osborne and Pucker. Right-hand side, Maciej Mendakowicz, the rider who is leading this out at the moment. It's provoking a little bit of a response behind, but Mendakowicz himself is not going to challenge the overall. They can let him go. In theory, he's 21 minutes 36 down.
But he's in the team that is currently lying in 3rd position overall, 1 minute 20 seconds down from the team lying in 2nd position overall. It could be really, really close, and that's what the riders need to watch.
It is. Vidal Mayer of the Goats, you can see working hard. Nitko, Bennett, Graves in there, Bird, and
because it's the Goats lying in 2nd place.
Yes, and that's why you're seeing that push coming from Nitko and Co at the moment. Full march to Maciej Mendakowicz.
And Team Balbina.
Yeah, Team Balbina on the move, as you said, Emma. it's provoking a response behind it. I think it's going to be causing all sorts of consternation in the group behind.
Yeah, I agree. And it's absolutely brilliant work and brilliant strategy from the team Balbina to put Maciej Międakowicz down the road. They knew the man for the job and they've sent him. Well, that's going to be an interesting finale. Another interesting finale is going to be this category 6 finish. They're at the 73-kilometer mark. They've got 6.2k of racing to go. 20 riders on the road together at the moment. The other categories behind, we've got a 2-up breakaway here in category 1. Pucker and Osborne, the two teammates on the final bosses, and Pucker on the front, Osborne in 2, which means Pucker closed that gap down, and the duo are now together.
Going to see how that goes. Really interested in this move here in category 1.
And we've had Hayden Pucker and Jason Osborne on the podcast. Both of them fabulous riders to talk to. Hayden Pucker, I mean, honestly, he's putting in a fabulous week of racing.
He has. He's put in an amazing week of racing, and I think he should take heart from that. He shows, he is where he belongs. This is his territory. Not every day is going to suit every rider. Even Jason Osborne has things he's not as good at as he is at others. I think all our riders need to remember that this is what they are in the best in the world. They're competing against the best of the world. And I think you're seeing here two of the very best in the world here really taking the racing to everyone else. They've got 22 seconds now, Osborne and Pucker. And Pucker's been working selflessly for Osborne throughout the race. Are we seeing here Osborne going, right, let's go? They're leading the team standings. This is only doing them good. Osborne's leading in the individual overall, but can they take away the stage win? Are we going to see that? And how much of a gap can they open here? Pucker could move up. He's still a reasonable distance down those standings. He's not going to trouble the very top of the tree, but I tell you, he could push himself. It's possible to push himself into the prize money as we see Patrick Karlstrom out of the saddle in this group in category 3. Category 3 have already reached the 61-kilometer marker. They go over the first of these 3 spikes that are the bridges coming in towards our next climb checkpoint in the Bahrain Hills.
Yeah, Manarelli is down the road. So category 3, we've got one rider down the road, and then we've got this group chasing at the moment. So fabulous job and fabulous work being done.
So the riders are making their way up over the top of the bridges, making their way now and around the Bahrain Hills at the moment. They're going to see what can they do on the way out and round. This is going to be key now in terms of the run to the finish. Remember, our finish at 79.2 kilometers. After all of these kilometers race, you've got to stay in this group. You don't want to lose time on the last few stages. Category 3 group back together on the hills. Just a quick reminder for you, if you are watching and you're thinking, oh, I fancy go at this, we've lots of great racing all through the week. Every Monday, we've got our Tier 1 racing. We've got the quads racing. You need a heart rate monitor to be able to race it with a smart turbo trainer, but a heart rate monitor as well. Quads racing on Mondays. Tuesdays, the Cycling Esports League. Season 4 just coming to an end today, and then the new season will kick off very shortly indeed. Wednesday is Tier 1 racing with the Rampage Racing, and that is on a Monday. We have plenty of missions for you to do. You might want to put one of those in on the Thursday. So the Vive la France mission kicking off with stage 1 from the 14th to the 24th of July. With that, France will be open to everybody today. The new French World on MyWhoosh from today, Bastille Day. The national holiday, except in the studios here. The Friday's racing is Masters Racing. So if you're one of our older competitors, Masters Racing on a Friday, Cross Racing back on the Saturday, and of course Sunday, it's Sunday Race Club. But of course, you do have that step up in the regulations once you go to Sunday Race Club, basically the same as, if not the same, almost identical as the racing on the MyWhoosh Championship. So category 3, we just saw Manarelli on the move. Here we've got Maciej Mendakowicz getting closed down by Marcin Trojanowski, who's gone off the front of this group to collect points, but he's collecting them after Mendakowicz, who's 1 minute up the road. That is the gap that's there. But Trojanowski now starting to push on the front of this group. He's looking for points here today as they come around this right-hand turn. It's 55.7K. It's 100 meters to that sprint competition here in category 2. And that last sprint is going to be critical. Maciej Mendakowicz has taken the 5 points. Is Trojanowski going to hold on to take away the 4? He was second overall. He's going to get 4. I think if he has done that, he's going to take away the leading points on the day. He does. So Marcin Trojanowski pips Mendakowicz for the overall sprint points on the day. It's 16 points to Trojanowski, 15 to Mendakowicz, and it's 13 points for Mayer, but we have one more sprint to go. And remember, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 point. So that is going to come down to Marcin Trojanowski, Maciej Mendakowicz, and Vidal Mayer. They're the only riders who can take the prize for today's haul of sprint points. And at the moment, Mendakowicz is up the road. The gap is 1 point. Trojanowski needs to bring back Mendakowicz because of that result. At the moment, Trojanowski is leading by 1 point. Mendakowicz is up the road, and that would change because they would be tied on points if Trojanowski takes the bunch run to the line next time, and Mendakowicz is off the front. And at which point, if they were tied at the end of the sprints, then it comes down to overall on GC. So our riders up and heading away in pursuit of Mendakowicz on the right-hand side of your screen. Left-hand side of your screen, we're going to see our first race finish very shortly indeed. Category 6. The leaders are into the Yas Marina circuits. They're in between the barriers that see Formula One cars and cyclists using it throughout the year in Abu Dhabi. In person here on MyWhoosh, it's cyclists only. And you know what? Our riders are racing their way around it. So they're running down to the tight right-hand turn. Once they've gone round that, they have to get themselves lined up and worked out for the sprint. Category 6 looking good at the moment. When they came through our last checkpoint, there were 20 riders in the leading group of category 6.
There were indeed 20 riders, and one of those just pushing onto the back of the bunch. They've got 2 kilometres left of racing here today on the MyWhoosh Championships. This is stage 7 of 7. 7 stages over 8 days. 436 kilometres of racing under the wheels of the men out here today as we watch the finishes in the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026. This group of category 6 riders are going to be the first group to finish in the men's race.
So the riders are moving in towards the turn. They've got a sharp right-hand turn to come. Leading group on the road. Corva leading. Saro keeps on rotating to the front. We keep seeing Rademacher there, even off there. Quickstrom there. They're the top 3 overall in that category 6 race. They are looking for those points and positions. They're not going to change the overall standings now. Vega's not going to be able to break into the top 3. The road has run out. They have literally the circuit left here at Yas Marina to bring themselves into the line to finish their racing. And at the moment, we can see the pace just shy of 40 kilometers an hour, going up slowly.
Camera angles
start to be made as we see a push on the front. It's not going to be
you can't see whether they're
yet, but it's taking us
putting
over the
ahead
40
here.
kilometer an hour mark. Eric Vervoda leading out even off at the moment, but he gets mobbed by Kraus as well. So hard to hold the wheels here. Will it be Ola Warren's day to take away a win? Will Dylan Kennett be able to use his track skills? Can Fager come through for a victory here today? The overall contenders are here. There are no time bonuses on the line. It's not going to make any difference for the overall, but this now is about getting it right, getting that stage win. We come around the turn. We have less than a kilometre to go, and now we start to see the wind-up begin.
Oh, 600 metres to go here on the Category 6 men's race of the MyWhoosh Championships. This is the final stage. This is the final run for the line, and Dylan Kennett is in the mix with Ola Warren. Fager starts to launch at 13 watts per kilo. He's going to come fast through the bunch. Keep your eyes peeled for Fager on your screen. Ola Warren is up there as well. It's Fager, it's Warren, it's Kennett, it's Rademacher. Kennett kicks at 18 watts per kilo and goes up and over the top. Dylan Kennett is going to take this today. He's going to take the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships with a massive sprint. Jonathan Fager is going to come through for second, and Michael Rademacher, I think, is going to take third place today in that finale. That was superb.
It was. I tell you something, I was watching Dylan Kennett as he came in. The power going through that bike as he came towards the line, as he put that kick. Once he knew he had it, he saw him go down over the bars. The bike shook. That's how much he was literally shaking. He couldn't control his body down to lean on the handlebars. But that is what makes you a good sprinter, putting the power down when you need it. Big kick coming into the line. Let's get those results confirmed.
Yes, Dylan Kennett in 1, Jonathan Fager in 2, Michael Rademacher in 3, Ola Warren coming through for 4th, and Rune Nielsen coming through the pack for 5th place today. 18 riders finishing in that sprint.
Brilliant racing all the way into the finish in Category 6 there. So our riders continue to push in. 18 riders in the end in that leading group through 2 being distanced off the back of the pack. Vladimir Tora along with Peter Cahill, just losing ground in that last run in towards the line. But Kennett takes, I think that's his second stage, if I'm not much mistaken, on the way through. So great sprinting by a former track champion. No surprises to see he knows the skills, but it's good to see him coming back to his best. The days in the mountains are gone, and he's back and sprinting, although he didn't do bad in the hills.
Dylan Kennett comes back onto the Sunday race club, but we're going to see him get better and better. Villa Petta on your screen, he's a rider we've been seeing get better and better as well. It's been great to watch him. He's in the mix in this final run for the line. They're at the 76.3 kilometre marker. They're just under 3k out from the finish line today, and we go in with Leonard Cadabona at the moment. He's wearing that GCC jersey in that peloton, that leader of that competition. He's going to want to come in and get that jersey across the line today. Junior Penn's in the gold jersey. Oh, do you think he might want a final flourish?
Well, you wouldn't put it past him. You saw Santeri Quickstrom in Category 6. He ended up 7th over the line, but he was right in the sprint. The overall winner of the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026 in Category 6 was up there contesting the sprint. He didn't want to lose any time, but also he wanted that win, and I think we're going to see the same again. The problem, I think, for all of our race categories is if you're coming into the finish, this sprint is going to be tough. Maxime Fabre is going to have completed the MyWhoosh Championships. Will he finish it with a win in the sprint? He's a good sprinter, but I tell you something,
the push is on at the front. This is going early here, and it's Nick Spratt now. No surprises. Spratt's going for a long run range here, putting in the power and putting it down now, trying to break the group. Junior Penn's know he could be trouble, and Villa Petta is in the mix as well. I think the pace is going to come off of this, and the group's going to come back together.
Yep. I think the speed just dropping at the moment, 37 kilometers an hour. It's going to 36. It's just going to come down, but we're not that. We're far enough out. You could see a counter attack here. You could see another attack go before that final sprint. And there is that possibility as this bunch starts to swell here. 1 or 2 runners just lifting the pace a little bit here. Luke Kendall in the mix. Remember, Kendall moving up on the general classification overall into 3rd place overnight. So he has got a position to defend as well. This run is going to be key towards line. We're in with Kevin Motmans. Will Motmans be able to do anything in the run to the line? He's on your screens at the moment. We're going to take that right-hand turn very shortly, and then we're going to start lining up for the finish here. And you can see it's been a tough day. It's been a tough week for a lot of our riders, but This kick will be key. Who is going to take it? Loxley just wipes his face. He knows he's putting a good race. Can he finish it off with a good finish here today? He won't want to lose any time coming in towards the line either, because remember, those team classifications are still very, very close. You can lose a lot of time just being at the wrong end of the bunch and at the wrong point on the road. As we start to see the speed pick up, we've gone from 36 kilometers now. We're up to 40k an hour. We are around the turn and we are on 1,000. No, we're not. It's going to be a little bit more than that. It's nearly at 1,000 meters to go. Another couple hundred meters.
Yeah, we're nearly at the 1 kilometre mark to go here for the Category 5 men on the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026. They too, 436 kilometres of racing over 8 days across 7 stages. And it's on at the moment on the front of this pack. The push is on and it's Miguel Fio off at the front. Alex Narovny is the rider doing the chasing, and Joel Warren wants the wheels. Warren wants the wheels because he's got that turn of speed. He's got that sprint. Pulgarin, Cadabona, Gremsil, Thornton, all lining up behind, and so is Luke Kendall. Keep your eyes peeled because this is going to be a great finale here. We are coming in tight and coming in hot because we've got 600, 500 meters to go, and Narovny's on the front here. Can anybody come onto the back of Narovny's wheel? Toppy Tato is there as well. Tato's got a turn of speed. Petter's got a turn of speed. Fabra can sprint when he wants. Joel Warren now kicks at 12 watts per kilo. Has he left it too late? Narovny's on the front. Tito's there. Warren's coming through the pack now. You can see Warren coming in that sprinter's jersey. He's coming up and over the top. Cadabona is coming as well. Cadabona and Warren. Warren, Cadabona, Narovny. Cadabona is coming too. Oh my goodness me. I think Joel Warren hangs on for that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
It was so close. I think that was Warren on the line there, but it came down. Catabona's their speed coming in, and you can see as the speed is scrubbed off. That was incredibly close. Incredible race finish here today. It goes in the end
to Luke Kendall.
Kendall came through lastminute.com there. It's so close.
It's 0.04 of a second, and then 0.01 of a second to third place, and another, well, just it's fractions of seconds all the way down. So in one, Luke Kendall takes the win today in Category 5, ahead of Johannes Mule, ahead of Leonard Cadabona, and ahead of Joel Warren. That was some racing. It really, really was. And if I tell you where the second marker was, the top 8 riders were inside a second.
They were indeed. So Kendall, Mule, Cadabona, Warren, Fossage, your top 5. When it comes to our overall, you can your top 10 in the overall classification. Remember, all these results are provisional. It's a 10th place for Roy, a 9th place for Kuntz, a 8th place for Lekba, 7th for Arcilla, 6th for Loxley, 5th for Petter, 4th for Cadabona. Your top 3, though, here today in Category 5. It's Kendall, Spratt and Junior Alberto Pence taking away the championship.
Well, the push is on already in Category 4 as they're coming in towards the finish line today. Steinholm is on the front of the pack and just starting to push away. The chase now starts to come from behind, but it's not really a light yet. Moretti, Velez, Bergin, Restrepo, Bullo, Pino, all in that group at the moment. Marvin Angarita is also there, and we've seen his turn of speed. They've got around 3 kilometers of racing still to go in Category 5. In Category 3, there's a big push on the pack at the moment, and Yannicki is there really working hard. So Yannicki moving strongly at the moment, and Chickles is with him as the 3 riders try and go clear of the group. They've got around 25 seconds at the moment on the bunch. They're at the 72-kilometer marker. Oh, it's going to be a tight run. I don't know whether those 3 can stay clear, but you just don't know what can happen in the final stages. In Category 2, Maciej Mendakowicz is still clear, but the bunch are closing in, I think. And in Category 1, at the 61.8-kilometer marker, Jason Osborne is now clear on the road. He went clear with his teammate Hayden Pucker. Pucker a little bit further back behind now on a solo ride, but he's clear of the group behind. So Jason Osborne getting the work from his teammate Hayden Pucker to go clear of the pack in category 1 and go clear of his teammate Pucker right now as he too works his way towards the finish line. But he's got around 15-16 kilometers of racing still left. Steinholm doesn't. Steinholm is off the front of the category 4 pack. They are coming up to 2 kilometers to go.
2,000 meters, the run for the line at the moment. Can he do it? It's a long way to go. You can just see the category 4 riders coming onto the wheels of the category 5. Our riders can draft each other, and that might start to take its effect. If riders go for the breakaway, they've got riders to bridge to. They've got a little bit of help on the way up through this race field at the moment. And you can see Henry East now is off in pursuit. We go in with East. He's chasing home at the moment. He's got a gap to Arago, and that gap is not insubstantial. It's 5-6 seconds at the moment, but you can see the group behind, and it's that classic age-old thing. You think you've got a good gap, but once that bunch gets going, the express train gets rolling, it just builds and builds and builds until you are covering the ground at a phenomenal speed. Now starts to come the kick. Will Angarita take another sprint win here? He's taken one stage win, difficult to do, but Ungara, as you say, Amber, here, coming across very quickly.
Yeah, Neil Ungara coming across very quickly right now. We've got Sinclair, Alalusa, Arago, and East on your screens at the moment. Steinholm rode clear of the group. Henry Yeast closed the gap. Neil Ungara then closed it as well. And now the rest of the pack coming quickly. But Ungara continues to drive. He's gone up and over the top of the group. The group come back into the pack. But Neil Ungara still down the road at the 77.9 kilometer marker. Oh, there's around 1,400 meters to go. Very, very shortly, there's going to be 1K to go in the race. Now, Juan Restrepo comes onto the wheel of Ungara. Great move from Juan Restrepo here. The rest of the pack really start to motor. Alalusa in the golden jersey on the front of the group.
Alalusa making sure he doesn't lose any time at all here to Sinclair, who's also in this front group, leading in the sprint and the young riders competition. But the gold jersey of Alalusa is making sure nothing is going to go. They're into this descent. It gives you a real ski ramp descent down. It propels you at speed. It lets you get the kick. And Restrepo is going for this all the way from this ramp down, but he's got a long way to go. Can he do it? Behind him, the gap is 3 seconds to the main part of the bunch, 2 seconds to Ungara. Right-hand turn comes. They'll sight the finishing line, but who's got the kick?
Well, 400 meters to go, and Restrepo is 3 seconds clear at the moment. Ungara now starting to wind it up. So is Angarita. Angarita starts to come at pace. Juan Restrepo used the descent and the momentum to drive himself towards the finish line. He thinks he's got it, but they're coming in fast from behind. There's a big sprint between Bergin, Velos, Oliveira, and Angarita, but Juan Restrepo is going to come underneath the banner in one. The long range attack work today. Oliveira, Pina, Alalusa, Bergin, Velas, and Angarita all coming through together. Panu Alalusa taking the win overall on the MyWhoosh Championships as one happy rider.
It is indeed. You can see what it meant to Panu Alalusa. He got the applause, as did Restrepo there from Sinclair. Sinclair gave the round of applause. He knew he wasn't going to close the gap down to Restrepo for the win, and he knew that the overall win in the championships for 2026 going to Panu Alalusa. Let's bring you first of all that confirmed stage result, Emma. Juan Restrepo coming over the line, nothing between him and the riders behind. The time gap's very, very small indeed. Restrepo in 1, Oliveira in 2, Pino in 3, Alalusa in 4, Velez in 5, Berger in 6, Angarita in 7, Ungara in 8, Cirillo in 9, Bulo in 10 as they came over the line at the finish. They're your top 10 here today. The riders still continue to come in through, losing a little bit of time now, but it could change things further down the standings. The overall, though, top 10 overall, East in 10, Bulo in 9, Giuliano in 8, Perdoncini in 7, Russimaki in 6, Velez in 5, Pino in 4, Dominic Bergen confirmed in 3, Aidan Sinclair in 2, the MyWhoosh champion in category 4 for 2026, Panuela Lucia of the Cycling District 4A team.
Yes, category 3 starting to come to other at the 76-kilometre marker. They have coming up to 3K to go on the left-hand side of your screen. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 riders clear of the bunch at the moment by around 11 seconds. Nikki Coolhurst, Chickles and Christensen, 4 riders clear at the moment. The young riders jersey, Hjulhorst in there with the 3 blue jerseys of category 3. The pack starting to motor behind. Look at the stretch on the group behind. And there's a big push going on here. In the overall competition, let's just remind ourselves the gap between Corrales and Jaquila, 1 second on GC. The golden jersey has got to watch where he finishes in this sprint. Could be really, really interesting, but you don't want to lose it in the final seconds when you've worked so hard to take that golden jersey. So Corrales and Jaquila separated by 1 second on GC. Hjulhorst lying in third. He's in the leading group at the moment. It's at 30 seconds. It's not enough for him to move up positions. He's at 1 minute and 9 seconds on GC in third place, but it is going to close the gap down slightly unless this pack get motoring. It's over 100 meters now separating these 2 groups on the road. And I think, well, it could be enough.
It could be enough for the stage win, but
Yes.
What's it going to do to the overall? Hjulhorst 109 behind Corrales, 108 behind Jaquila. So the group behind can't hesitate too much. And the danger for both Jaquila and Corrales is that if they push on to close the gap down to Hjulhorst and the leaders too much now, they're in danger of losing contact in the sprint. We're coming into that rise and then that drop down that lines our riders up for the run in towards the finish. Yes, Nikki, Chickles, Hjulhorst, and Christensen, the riders who are off the front. We're in with I think Jonia Nikki in that leading group at the moment, and that gap is there. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is, but is it enough to hold off the rest of the riders? Maybe. Is it enough for the overall? Definitely not. But that battle will be fought out behind between Corrales and Jaquila. They'll be watching each other like hawks at the moment. They cannot afford to let a gap go. They will need to sprint for the finish because of that 1 second only gap coming into today. The riders on the front, they just want that stage win. I think at the moment, Hjulhorst aware that he's not going to get that minute back. He's not going to move up in position, but what he's after is that win. As we see Skierski now going off in pursuit. So Skierski just going up the road. Hernandez and Bushta just looking to answer, lifting their pace up as well. They come round that right-hand turn. We're at 77.8 now, very shortly, 77.9K at the moment. Remember, we finish at 79.2K.
300 meters ahead of us.
With Nikki, with Chickles, with Mortenston. The gap is 12 seconds, and this is going to come down to who wants.
I'm going to get shot out the back.
The yellow jersey is in. This is the top of the climb. They're going into the descent on the run for the line.
Yeah, they are indeed. And the pace is picking up because they want the momentum off that descent to take them through in terms of the pace to the line. Everything can change when you can pick up momentum. And at the moment, that's why the push is on this group right now. They're 900 meters from the line, a little bit further up the road. There's still a 7-second gap. And Chickles on the front here, Hjulhorst on his wheel. Christensen is there with Nikki, and they're really starting
Go on, Bruce.
They're also starting to motor from behind, bringing the gap down. I don't think there's enough road. They go into 500 meters to go. You can see the pack coming behind on the top right-hand corner of your screen, but this group can see the finish line now. It's the finish line of stage 7. It's the finish line of the MyWhoosh Championships. Nikki goes. He's on the wheel of Christensen. Now he's over the top. Christensen on his wheel. 2 riders side by side here coming into the finish line today. Nikki picks up the pace. Christensen's not going to get him. Nikki takes the win today on the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships in category 3. Great racing from the breakaway group. The pack come in behind, but that was great racing.
And I'm just working my way down here to see who has taken away the overall as they came in over the line. Corrales, I think, has come in behind Jaquila. So the gap is going to be close. It's going to come down to the fractions of a second. How much has Jaquila taken back on Corrales? It's not enough, I don't think. It's so close. So Jaquila came over the line at 1 hour 53:41.044. He took back a tenth of a second at the most from Corrales. It's not enough, and Corrales is going to go away with the win overall. So
it's got to be the closest margin ever.
It is incredible. 1.549 of a second separating Mikel Jaquila from Matteo Corrales at the end. So let's give you the stage result first of all. Christiansen from Unicki from Hjulhorst, Chikos, Jaquila, Corrales, Villarda, Brook, Guarin, and Wojciech taking the top 10. In terms of the overall, it is going to be Pony in 10th, Wojciech in 9th, Villarda in 8th, Kalman in 7th, Montoya in 6th, Bakken in 5th, Guarin in 4th, and then immediately behind immediately in front is Hjulhorst in 3. Fabio Hjulhorst taking 3rd overall. Mikel Jaquila taking 2nd, and Matteo Sanchez Corrales taking away 1st. Now, we are just going to say these results are provisional at the moment. We are waiting to just get confirmation of those. That is what our screens are saying at the moment to us here in the commentary studio. As we go back to category 1, these riders coming in over the sprint line in the Abu Dhabi sprint. Osborne, Paradines, Van Els, Fryer, and Kaminsky in that order.
Yes, and Jason Osborne, 50 seconds clear of the chase group. Hayden Pucker back in the mix. 20 riders in this chase group as Bjorn Andreasen now starts to push. So Andreasen and Van Els punching on those pedals and trying to get this group moving. This is the chase group in the category 1 race. They're coming in towards the 9 kilometers mark of racing now. Osborne is nearly a minute clear. He's on the top left-hand corner of your screen, 700 meters up the road. Maciej Mendakowicz is clear of the category 2 bunch. And I'm looking at that, and that looks like around a 29-second lead at the moment. Bruce Bird on the front of the peloton. Well, Bruce Bird on the front of the peloton. Daniel Mundell is there as well. So is Nikolai Damsgaard. The Category 2 race is alight at the moment because of the potential changes to the team competition. It's a 51-second gap they've got to hold. That's what Mendakowicz has gone out to chase. Well, can he do it? I don't think he can. Not now that the pack is alight behind and we're running towards the final 5K to go. So less than 5K to go now in the Category 2 race. Mendakowicz, though, tell you something, he's around 350 meters clear of the peloton. Can he hold it? Can he take the win today with this long range attack?
Do you know what? Wouldn't that be history repeating itself? That would be great. That would be really, really great. Just seeing him on the front here, and it certainly looks to me like Mendakowicz could well have this. That gap is too big. It is definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think this surely is Mendakowicz. They can't get him back, can they? So as they come in towards the line, this is going to be all about who can deal with this circuit best. Can this Category 2 bunch, how much do they want this? How much can they come back? As they come into the finish, we're going to take this right-hand turn. This bunches together. And I'm looking at the power numbers here, Emma. We're doing 46 kilometers now. We're motoring, don't get me wrong. But if these guys want the stage win, you've got to pull back 25 seconds, and you've not got long to do it. Any more hesitation, it's all over. Maciej Mendakowicz is going to take the last stage. They've got to close down a phenomenal rate of acceleration and phenomenal rate of closure. Maciej Mendakowicz at the moment is soloing to race victory. He's gone off the front on the last stage, and at the moment
he's enjoying it as well.
He's got the power. He's got the power down. He knows he's got the gap early. He's just got to keep pushing. He keeps on pushing on those pedals. He keeps on getting the power down. We see him week in, week out, giving it big beans on the way into the finish. And today, well, I'll tell you something, he has done the business once again. He's gone clear. Behind him, Daniel Mundell, breaking clear of the bunch. And it shows you, for me, how much pace there is in that back bunch behind, because they're not closing and people are just able to attack. They're going clear. It's going to be a furious finish, but it's going to be too little too late.
Yeah, well, that's because, isn't it? Because these riders are not in contention on GC. They're not in the top 10. They're outside it, which allows them to do this. Pardon Cooper now starting to pick up the pace on the front of the pack, and Mundell gone clear. Pardon Cooper trying to go clear as well. And it's all been today about defending positions in Category 2, and breakaways are allowed to go. You've got permission to go if you're not in the top 10 and you're not close on GC. Dan Mundell 16 minutes back on GC. So nobody minds if he tries to go clear and close the gap to Mendakowicz. I mean, if David Nitko tried to go, that would be a very different matter.
Yes,
Nitko, 29 seconds back on GC. There'd be a quick flurry if he tried to go down the road.
There's going to be it's just going to be like all hands to the pump with that UAE clan team, just going, not a chance, sunshine. Yeah. Here we go. And a quick reminder for you, it's 28 seconds from Mr. X100 leading for the UAE clan team from David Nitko of the Goats. They are the two riders realistically in this race now. Milostic back in third place at 44 seconds coming into today's stage. Mendakowicz is a long, long way back. He's not going to trouble the overall. He will be moving up positions, but not into a position where he's going to be taking away prize money from anybody, I think. In that overall competition, it's going to be the stage win though for him, and he's clear. And at the moment, Mundell's still holding on for the gap. David Nitko, great ride by him all the way through this stage race.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has gone really well. 20th on stage 1, 5th on stage 2, 8th on stage 3, just absolutely flying. I think this is going to come down really into what do they do here today? What can they make count? How well are they going to go? Just for me, this is going to be about this stage run. They're all fighting for potentially third place. Mundell is potentially catchable for that second, but I'm not. Here we go. I mean, they're on the move, but it's not enough. It's going to be Fournier who comes to the front. He's after Gorshank. He's after Mundell. He's after Parder Cooper. Mundell's catchable. Pardon Cooper, not so sure. Mendakowicz, not a chance.
Well, they've just started to ride away from the peloton here on Category 2. Riders, they've saw Mendakowicz able to do it, and each one of them has tried to replicate that. Well, now Maciej Mendakowicz gets his head down and drives for the line. He's underneath the 1K to go banner. 1 kilometre left of the MyWhoosh Championships for Maciej Mendakowicz, and he's targeted a stage win, and this is the final stage of 7 stages over 8 days. 436 kilometres of racing done. This is the final 700 meters, and Mendakowicz, it's a breakaway that has stuck today in Category 2, and Maciej Mendakowicz is driving towards the line. Well, Pardon Cooper, Mundell, Gorshank and Novosad, the riders clear of the group, as the group now on the right-hand side starts to pick up the pace and get motoring. They're now starting to hit the pace that Mendakowicz is at out front. As Mendakowicz sights the finish line, that is the finish line of the MyWhoosh Championships, and Maciej Mendakowicz put his heart on the line today and pushed clear of the bunch. He's going to come underneath the banner in 1 and take the win on stage 7 of the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026 with a long-range breakaway. It's a deserved win. Mendakowicz takes the top spot in Category 2. Well, the chase is on behind, and it is fast and furious over the line, and the pack is absolutely motoring. But they're motoring for the places here. They're motoring for what can be, well, Pardon Cooper looks as though he's going to come over the line in 2. But the rest of the riders battling it out there on GC, and fabulous, fabulous racing. So Mendakowicz in 1, Pardon Cooper in 2. The rest of the riders moving through. It looks like it's Mundle in 3, Power in 4, Carstenen in 5, and Guerra in 6. But you could throw a blanket over that group. You really could.
You could indeed, and that's really, really telling. We're going to see the overall competition staying the same in our top 5 for certain.
That's all right.
Letting the computer do its stuff in the background. Let's confirm those positions for you. Mendakowicz in 1, Pardon Cooper in 2, coming through with Mundle in 3, Power in 4, Carstensen in 5, Guerra in 6, Boulanger in 7, 8, Damsgaard in 9, Bjarhead in 10 in category 2. The finishing time actually, other than Mendakowicz, very, very close to the time of category 3, and it shows you the type of racing that we had. We had that more static race. Mendakowicz ahead by 16 seconds at the end. In terms of the overall, though, it does mean that Mr. X100 is confirmed as our MyWhoosh champion once again, defending the title that he took in 2025. He's done the same again here in 2026, taking top spot from David Nitko in 2, Peter Molostic in 3, it's SS in 4, Guerra in 5, Ziad in 6, Stewart in 7, Damsgaard in 8, Mayer in 9, and Mill in 10. And remember, please, all the results are provisional and will be for a while, as all of the final verifications and checks are made. So don't go spending the money before you've got it if you've won some.
Well, that's one way to put it, isn't it? But at the moment, it's category 1. They're the last group of riders away today. They're going to be the final group of riders to finish. But what a race it's been here as well. Osborne and his teammate Hayden Pucker went down the road. Osborne and his teammate worked together, got the gap, and then Osborne just kept going. Pucker back in the mix, but Turek, Van Hees, Thrall, Paradians, all in the mix here, and the pack rolling strongly, but they're 48 seconds behind Jason Osborne. He's got less than 2 kilometers to go as we go in with Yasin, Jones, Kaminsky, Van Elst, and Turek. I'll tell you something, we've got all 4 of the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys on the screen. Van Elst, part and parcel of Osborne's team, the final bosses. But those 4 riders have had a cracking race and second in that team competition overall. Fabulous teamwork going on there amongst those 4 riders, and you know, friends off the bike, comrades on the bike, and great riding and racing. Now Dan Turek sitting in second place. He's sitting on the front of the pack here, 50 seconds down on Osborne. Osborne's going to sight that banner first, but this is lining itself up for a fabulous gnarly in category 1. We started the race with Jason Osborne winning and Ollie Jones in second place. Are we going to finish the final stage with the same result?
Yeah. That's my answer. That's my prediction. However, I think it's all about this line out. It's this lead up. I think by having the Space Cowboys on here, we're going to see if they can get Ollie Jones ready for launch, or are they going to have a falter on the launch pad? They've got to get him in the right speed at the right time at the right place. He's got a phenomenal kick on him, and we see Jones now out of the saddle starting to wind this up already. Remember that the finishing line is at 79.2k and the pace is up, and Ruben Dont has gone on a last-minute charge to the line. He's gone over the top, and it could be Dont spoiling the party here for them.
Well, Dont is charging, currently leading the pack at the moment. Van Elst, Kaminsky, Turek, Fryer, Nair, they're all chasing. But Jason Osborne sights the finish line on the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships. He's going to make it 7 stages from 7 today, with the win on stage 7 of the MyWhoosh Championships. Under the banner he goes. The Osborne train is through the station. He takes the win today. Ruben Dont, though, is clear of the group.
Finished third as a team
he
today.
caught them napping as he comes around the corner. He's 400 meters from the finish line. Can anybody close this down? Paradians is coming from behind. Zarosniak is there as well. Pedersen, Thrall, Andreasen. Paradians starts to launch. Van Elst does too, but Ruben Dont is 2 seconds clear up the road. Don, is
But,
anybody going to catch him? I think Ruben
take
Don
what
has
you
got this
can.
clear. I think he's going to go underneath the banner in 2. What a move from Ruben Don. Jasper Paradis has got company out there, but Paradis, I think, is going to come under the line in 3, then Thrall, then Van Els. That was great racing out there. Absolutely brilliant finale to the MyWhoosh Championships for 2026.
Well, what a race result. Ruben Don might have said on the podcast he might be known as a sprinter, but he's not. But I think he's shown exactly why he has taken the record number of sprint wins on the Sunday Race Club here on the MyWhoosh Championships on the final stage. He sprung a surprise. He's going to make me eat my words, that's for sure. Jones finishing in 8th place. They failed to launch him into that finish at the right time, and it means he's not going to take that. Paradis, the sprint winner, goes through in 3rd place behind Ruben Don in 2nd. No touching Jason Osborne, who extends his lead at the top of the standings as these riders come through in Category 1. These are the overall finishing positions in Category 1 on your screens. We're going to go through category by category of the race and of the overall. So it's time for us to take a look in a little bit more detail, Emma. I mean, that was a little bit of a surprise there behind Jason Osborne. I mean, let's first talk about Jason. Great ride by him to come off the front. 7 out of 7. Takes the win overall. I mean, he's going to be pleased with that. He's going to be happy. I mean, you can't but be happy with that winning performance. But behind him, people have closed the gap down.
Yes.
The level has come up behind him.
You know what? That was just fantastic behind. You know, it really was who blinked first, and Ruben Don. Well, he didn't wait for anybody to blink. He just went. And you know, that 2-second gap that he had at the end was what indeed got him 2nd place on the stage today. Great racing across the board. I thought the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys were going to line that up for Ollie Jones, and we went in with them, and it just wasn't possible because Don sprung that surprise. But Jason Osborne, world champion, what form is he on?
Oh, I mean, just incredible.
But what a team he also has around him. And they continue to work for him and sacrifice themselves to put him in that top spot.
Definitely. I think it's time for us to take a little bit of a look through category by category. Now we're going to give you the stage result and then the overall results. So let's get into those results. We're going to go category by category. We're going to play out some highlights just above our heads here. Let's go into category 6 first of all. Stage result, Dylan Kennett showing that track speed. But Jonathan Fager almost getting it dialed and getting him there on the line. Rademacher coming through with Warren. Rademacher defending champion. Top 3 again showing he's just class when it comes to a stage race.
And the top 10 there, they are names who have kept us entertained all through the 8 days of the MyWhoosh Championships. So they've kept us entertained, and they've been racing their socks off in this competition, and it has been fabulous to see.
I really fancy doing 20 that or 50
the
that.
Overall, let's take a look, shall we? Category 6.
Well, Santeri Quickstrom taking it away. He took that lead, he got hold of it, and he wasn't going to let go. Emil Ivanov has absolutely dominated the mountains competition throughout the racing, but he couldn't touch Quickstrom on top. Santeri Quickstrom, the champion in the MyWhoosh Championships in Category 6. His race time, 12 hours, 42 minutes and fractions of a second. It's just incredible. And the top 10 rounded out by Matt Smithson there.
Yeah, and can I just say, Level Kevlar taking the win in the team competition by 1 minute 10 seconds from BMC6. Level Titanium coming through for 3rd place in that team competition.
Brilliant competition throughout all of our race categories. Category 6 first that we've broken down. Let's move to Category 5, where we have our stage results first of all. Luke Kendall taking that stage win from Mule, from Cadabona, Warren and Bossied. So close. I mean, 0.059. Sprints are close. That's the nature of sprints. But actually, I think there was a number of sprints that were really big gaps today in comparison to what I was expecting. This was a close one.
Look at that. Less than a second separated the top 8 riders in that sprint today in Category 5. Absolutely to the wire. Keeping it exciting, and riders on the edge of their seats, and racers on the edge of their seats, and viewers on the edge of their seats. And it was just, what a finale to 8 days of racing.
Brilliant finale to 8 days of racing, and what a great way to round out what has been a fantastic race in Category 5. Let's go to our overall in Category 5. and what a brilliant result here today for them. Now let's go. We're just in with category 4 standings at the moment, so we're going to zip back across to
Right on.
Let's go climbing again. Although nothing crazy on this one for me. It's meant to be a cool down. Guess we'll roll down the other side, so 3k to go. It's nice. Which one are you? That's me done for the day, thank you. And if you did tune in, thank you for watching. And not H. I think you fell asleep, mate. But I kept pushing. I ended up, I don't know what, I finished 12th probably in the sprint. If I was to do it again, I'd have gone earlier on the sprint, I think, and got in the top 10 then. But it's all very good. I'm happy with my performance today. I need to get some food though, so see you all later.